Hey, what? Yo, who was that? ATL show coming live. People about the world. Know that we a show. We got ATL Legacy, the podcast. On God, we're taking over for the ATL show.
Naya, what?
The ATL show's on, duh. Get out! Get out!
Naya, it's supposed to be for adults only. It's supposed to be.
ATL, they're back.
It's my time again.
Anthony, Tioma, G Savage, Legacy. They're back. They're the best. Let's get it. Season 2.
I'm the best at this shit, that's fact. And there's only one reason that I came back. I'm here to set the fucking record straight. Okay. I'm the best, you other cats just fell the way. First off, ain't no beef with the spitters in my city. But if it comes with 28, then shit get gritty. I'm shitty. Yeah, I shit on rappers. Even dead on the scene, since you wanna be actors. This the message. I'm talking open hills and places. Schools over feeling foggy, I'll be patient and waiting. It seems y'all forgot who really runs the throne. Screaming y'all number one, just because I was gone. See, ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the move. I'm on against team Rush when you ready to lose. The game, the street, the zone is took. This the message, hope it leave you from me rapper. Sure. Yeah. The message. So y'all know. Yeah. The monster is back. And I'm at my spot.
ATL, ho.
Just-in-time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at www.justintimeaccessories. Just-in-time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Check it out. Just-in-time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. Everything is only $5. You can catch Tayama on Facebook Live at Tayama Copeland, or you can find her at
Legacy Unlocked. When you're locked out of your vehicle, can't get in your car, call Legacy, serving West Palm Beach and surrounding cities. That's area code 229-630-7615. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you been denied disability, Social Security, or custodianship of your children? Call Antonio Williams. He has the knowledge and experience to fight the government on your behalf. Let him represent you. That's Antonio Williams, your non-legal attorney consultant.
Good evening, one and all. Welcome to the Anthony Brown Show. Welcome to this segment that we call the ATL Show. If you're new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. It costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe. Subscribe, like, and comment. And when you comment, we will show your comments live on the screen, and we'll respond accordingly. And we hit that like button, that thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that you're enjoying yourself over here, and they will share the video automatically with other people with similar interests. So definitely hit that like button, subscribe. It costs you nothing. Comment and share this with others. We have a special treat for you guys tonight, so you definitely want to tune in and sit back, because it's going to get slightly raunchy, slightly informative, slightly juicy, slightly over the edge. But like I said, if you have tissue paper feelings, this ain't the place to be. Put the children to sleep. Go on, put them to bed. Because our mouths are ruthless over here, and we ain't gonna be able to control what comes out. Good evening, Kamal. What's up, Kamal, in the ATL world? China Johnson says, I just did. Just did put the children to sleep. I know that's right. Well, anyway, I'm joined tonight by none other than my sister, the very beautiful, the very lovely Miss Tiama Sweetness.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna have my thing off because I'm finishing up here, but I will be fully ready in less than 20 minutes.
Okay. And I'm also joined tonight by the other sister. Sister, you be on my mind. Oh, sister. Miss
Hey,
T.
how you doing? You so crazy.
What's going on, T Savage?
How are you?
All right, all right. You had to get extra cute tonight for your sister, huh?
Yeah, I had a rough day today, but it's okay. I had questions about my career, but they all got answered today when I helped the kid out. It was amazing.
That made it all worth it, huh?
Yeah.
Now, don't you have me on here crying. Don't do it. Don't
I'm
do
not.
it.
I'm not. I'm not even gonna tell the full story on camera.
Because you don't big water bag. Don't do it.
I'll tell you behind the scenes.
Okay, backstage. And of course, we have none other than Mr. Charlie Duwop, Mr. Fashionista himself. Pain in my ass, neck, back, side. My brother.
Yeah. What it is, baby? ATL, ho.
Legacy.
Okay. So what's going on, folks?
Oh, man. Another day, another dollar.
Thank you, cousin Mike. Michael Jordan. Shout out to my cousin Michael Jordan.
Yes,
I love
Mike.
you.
What it is, Mike?
Love you, Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Send me some shoes, Mike.
Oh, and you say some shoes. When I say he got shoes out the Wazoo, and they nice too, bad shoes. Something like a pimp, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, them tires.
Yeah, I know Mike. Like I said, me and Mike used to work together at Kravis Center years ago. We used to run that place. They weren't ready for us.
Oh, yeah.
I do that too.
Yeah, I see you showing the twins, Unique and Monique.
You know, they were showing more. I had to change my shirt. I was like, "It's too much. Let me cover it up." It was showing too much.
Please. You just gonna get a world of free peek.
Tonight might be our best rating.
No!
Shake what your mama gave you.
Hey. You know I got that talent where I can shake one titty and not the other one, so don't get me started. Just that one.
Okay, that's the super moves.
Crazy.
That sounds like the Mercedes experience on P-Valley.
Yes, I've been practicing pose. I want to pose. Just don't know where to put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're in for a treat tonight. We have a special guest on our show tonight. And she is definitely no stranger to our cast, to our show, to our platform. Auntie Adrienne has been here many times, many occasions. We love her dearly. From Her Kitchen to Yours is her series that she has on her platform. So you may want to follow her on her YouTube channel as well as her Facebook channel. But she's killing it on TikTok as well. So definitely want to follow Auntie Adrienne. But she'll be on in a minute to share with you all of her connections. But as you all know, she's been on the show quite frequently. And on the show, she's been sharing with us bits and pieces about her life history, her. Thank you for joining us, Juicy.
UK.
You know, she's been sharing with us about her history and her life and her past as far as her relationship, her husband, now her ex-husband, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, the questionable, the unquestionable, the dirt, the whatever. But it was no smear tactics. It was just from her heart, and she spoke freely. And everybody know Auntie Adrienne mouth is brutal. That's the word I want to use. We could think of some other words to describe Auntie Adrienne, but she's here tonight to share her story. And like they say on those that judge show, the Crumpler's is the two judges that's heavy set.
Just stop. Just stop it. Just stop.
Well, the two judges that say, they always listen. The point I'm making is what the judges say at the end of all their shows. They always say it's two sides to every story. So, and
you're talking about the husband and wife?
Don't do it.
Yes.
The Fluskin twins.
The Cutlers,
it's
yes.
The Cutlers.
I love them. I freaking love them.
So on tonight's show, we're gonna have Miss Auntie Adrienne revamp her story, and then her ex-hubby, shed some light on the story and tell his side of the story.
Yeah, let's get to that.
And this is the first time we've had from a male point of view on the show. And I want Auntie Adrienne and her ex-husband over there fighting. Because,
don't you stupid.
No fighting, no fighting.
Michael says, hello, watching tennis. And you all, thank you. I love you all. You all and blessings and crazy together. And be.
We appreciate that, Mike. Juke, how your week been?
It sounds like Auntie Adrienne been through some things and she has experience.
My week has been
a
week.
Go ahead, Juice. Yeah.
I said my week has been a week. I got a lot of yard work done.
I just talk to old lady.
Always
yard work done.
Always something to do at that house, I see. Always.
It is always.
But what it is, Leandrew and Mike.
Hey, Leandrew.
I just wanted to say that Miss Auntie Adrienne is definitely one of my favorite people that comes in and fill in sometimes for each one of us if need be. Not only does she fill in, she can also hold the show pretty much by herself. She has that. Yeah, she got that type of mouth. But she's very informative, and she's like I say, one of my favorites. But she's also one of my arch nemesis that pulls up from time to time and battles with me. She is. You have to have his.
It's all love.
What you say? Yeah, it's all love. Definitely.
It's all love. It's all love.
All the time. But I love having her here. Tonight is like gonna be a main course meal. We've had appetizers of what she's been saying, so I really can't wait to dive into this one to actually get the ex-husband's point of view. Because there's always two sides to every story, and I am here for the show. I am here for the show. I'm ready. I'm ready.
ATL ho.
Ooh, I'm ready. ATL ho.
Oh, you just want always soprano.
So come on, bring her on. Woo, woo, woo. And the drum roll goes. You gonna introduce her?
I left a message in the comment for Savage.
Oh.
Hey y'all, so I've been charged. It's time now?
Yes.
Like we in church. We come to the part where we get to the introduction of the speaker. This speaker needs no introduction. She's not a guest on this show. Oh, somebody get it to the ring, get it to the ring. She is family. This is my sister from another mister. She gonna keep it 100. We've been getting bits and pieces, and now we're about to get the whole meal, like Legacy say, the one, the only Adrian
Hey
Willie.
y'all. Y'all,
Hey.
y'all had me back here cracking up. Legacy, I heard you talking about I was your arch
Yeah.
nemesis.
I thought we was in a doggone comic book.
Hey baby, how y'all doing
Lord.
tonight?
Hey,
Yes.
sis.
We wonderful.
Hey
We love them
baby.
glasses.
Thank you, sweetie.
Yes.
VogueGlam.com, y'all. All
Yes.
my glasses are prescription. You can get them from VogueGlam.com. Shoot my package. All right, y'all. So what's happening? There we go. Oh yeah, well it used to be Vogue
Listen.
Me. It used to be Vogue Me, but now it is Vogue Glam. Same thing. You can still get it from there. Okay.
What's happening is you. We waiting on the tea.
Y'all waiting on the tea. Okay, well, y'all let me know when y'all ready for me to start. But I know y'all got a couple of other things y'all do first.
No, we say we
No,
reserve
no.
Y'all going straight to it.
reserve the
Yes,
whole
on
day just for this one.
Friday, this is our show on Fridays. It's
Yeah,
just
this
Oh,
is
it's
okay.
the cut. So when we have
ain't
our
no,
guests,
ain't
that's
no
what it is.
introduction today.
Okay. So I'm gonna introduce y'all to it just sounds weird to me saying ex-husband every time. He is my ex-husband. However, I call him my husband because it's just easier to say. But here's Wendell, y'all.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Wendell. How are you?
Blessings.
Hello.
Good to see you again.
How you doing? How you doing?
All right, all right.
All
How's it
right,
going?
y'all. So
Welcome
we
to the
just,
show.
huh?
I said, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So where you want me to start at the beginning, or where you want me to just jump right into it?
Let's start from the beginning because a lot of people who probably don't know you or Wendell's situation, so it's all new to them. And we'll just catch up. We'll just ask random questions as you go along.
Okay. So Wendell and I met in 1984 in high school. And in high school, we were friends. We were always friends. That was the good part about when we did end up being in a relationship. We had been friends for years because we went to high school together. I had been in a relationship. He had been in a relationship. And actually, one of my first relationships I was in that was kind of bad, he was always there, like talking me through it, being supportive and everything. So in 92, I hadn't talked to him for like maybe about 4 or 5 years.
He was
So
just waiting
in
his turn.
huh?
He was just waiting his turn.
I guess.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Mr. Wendell, Mr. Wendell, right?
Yeah,
Mr. Wendell.
yeah.
Okay, I'm Legacy. That's what I was just going to say. That's why I tell people all the time, a woman has no business to have a male best friend. It's just a dick in the glass in
Oh
the
my
freezer waiting to
God.
be broke.
Well, I will
Here
disagree
we
with
go
that.
with the shenanigans.
No, I disagree with that because it wasn't a thing of me waiting, just sitting back. I was doing me, she was doing her.
We were literally
We
friends.
were just
We
friends.
were truly just friends. Now, before we started dating, I had a roommate that I actually tried to hook him up with. This was like in 92, the end of 92 or so. And, I tried to hook him up with my friend. That didn't work out. So it was he let me see. The specific date it started was March the 29th, 1993. I called him up one day, asked him what was he doing. He said he wasn't doing nothing. And so I said, "Oh, you want a girlfriend?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, well, we go together then." And that's literally how it started. And then I didn't hear from him for like a couple of
Hey, why that remind me of Red Future? You my boyfriend. Get your ass up and hold my hand. What?
But that's how it started. So I didn't hear from him for a couple of days. And then one day I called him. I was at work and he asked me where it was. I said at work. He said, "You want me to come pick you up?" I said, "Yes." So that might have been like, we started going together March 29th, 1993. So a couple of days later, like I said, I called him. He came and picked me up from work. And then from then, we never spent a day apart ever until we actually separated from that day. So when everything kind of moved kind of quick for us, we moved in our first. So we started going together March 29th of 93.
Hold on. So y'all was inseparable. So was it your cooking or was it your cookie?
Nope, we hadn't had sex yet.
Wow.
None of that had happened yet.
Hold on, Auntie Adrian. Adrian, I got this. Now, I heard you say that you call this man up and say, "Hey, you want a girlfriend?" He told you, "Yeah." Damn it, we together now. Now, let me ask you a question. Out of all the men that was available, what made him the prime candidate for you to give that choice to?
Because he was like, I had gotten sick. This is how I started. I had gotten sick. And he came over to my house because, like I said, we were friends. He came over to my house before I asked him, did he want a girlfriend? He came over there. This was during the time when I tried to introduce, get him hooked up with my roommate. And he came over to my house, and I never forget it. I was really sick. I had a bad cold. He went to the store, got me some medicine, brought the medicine back to me, gave me the medicine, and he literally stayed there with me all night. We slept in the same bed. He didn't touch me. He didn't make no advances on me or anything. And it was just like, because I had such a tough childhood, I didn't know what it was like to have somebody that genuinely care about me. You know what I mean? He genuinely cared. He cared about my well-being. And I was impressed with the fact that he didn't try to make no advance on me or anything like that. And so that's when it was like maybe a few weeks later when I called him up and asked him, did he want a girlfriend?
You see what Michael says? Michael says, sounds like the chemistry between the two of you was there all along. Great date, March 29th, my birthday. You all were destined to be together.
Sis, that's Michael Jordan from the party.
I know that's Michael Jordan. Hey, Michael. Yeah, so that's kind of how that started. So then from there, so like I said, we started going together March the 29th of 93. We got our first apartment in May, like May 27th of 93. And then the place that we got into, the house, it was a bad house. We ended up getting carbon monoxide poisoning. We ended up moving out of that house. And in July, we moved around the corner to another house, and that's where we had stayed at. So everything was like really good. I never forget it, because that's like back when the HIV scare and everything was real hard. He was like, we both want to go and get tested for HIV. That was back when they made you wait 2 weeks. He said, we're going to both get tested for HIV. He said, and once we get those test results, he said, everything negative, he said, I'm going to marry you. And that was, we went and I think that was like in November. I want to say it was like maybe October, November. It was like really cold. And we went and got the test results and everything. Everything came back negative. He asked me to marry him. And then January the 29th of 94, we got married. And then after that, and so like our relationship like progressed really, really fast. We got married in 94. We had our first son in 95. Then we had the baby in 97 and in 99. And then in 2000, we had a house built. Then in 2001, we opened up our first business. So it was like everything was just going really, really fast during that. Now, here's where the problem for me, in a sense, started kind of early on, because in the beginning of our relationship, he started losing people. Huh?
Let me ask Mr. Michael something. I mean, not Mr. Michael, Mr. Excuse me. How do you pronounce your name again, sir?
Wendell.
Okay, Mr. Wendell. Now let me Glendale.
Wendell.
Okay, I got you. Well, let me ask you a question. What made
the song.
Auntie Adrian? What made Auntie Adrian? You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. What made Auntie Adrian prime real estate for you to say, yeah, this is the woman I want to marry?
Well, at the time, back then, to be straight up or blunt, I was a man whore. And I was tired of messing with all the women that I was messing with. She was my friend. And like she said, when she got sick, because of the way that I was raised and everything else, I used to stay with my mom all the time and make sure that she was okay. So that was more or less like I was more concerned about her well-being. And then by us talking and communicating and everything else, it just kind of prospered. It blossomed from there. It wasn't.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
When you used to go through issues, with your significant other, because Auntie Adrian is your friend at this time, would you discuss the bad things that were going on with your significant other, with Auntie Adrian?
No, because by that time I got rid of everybody. To be honest, like I said, to be blunt, I
No,
was a man whore, and I was messing
no,
with
no.
a whole bunch of different.
When I asked that question, because I heard you when you said you was a man whore, but you and Auntie Adrian was friends in the midst of all of that.
No, it was
Correct.
like a time period. There was a time period where we hadn't seen each other for a couple of years.
I remember I just said that legacy. We hadn't seen each other for some years.
Yeah, we weren't friends. Yeah, we weren't on in communication all the time with each other all the time. But once we started talking, that's when we started talking. And like I said, everything else, all the other women was gone, done.
Okay. But
Legacy
what I'm
wasn't so
asking
deep.
is, no. What I want to know is because
Mhm.
of the fact there was a time period where you did not speak to Auntie Adrian. So there was a
Yeah.
time period of you said being a man whore. So again, for Aunt Adrian to be that type of woman that she off the cuff, she was worthy of being married. There had to be something that set her apart from all the other women that did not get that offer to be your wife. I mean, for you to be their husband. So
Right.
what
The
I'm
reason
asking you is,
let me hold on. Let
hold
me add
on,
on.
Tony, hold on.
I'm gonna add on to what you're saying. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
help. I'm trying to make what you're saying a little easier because I think what he's trying to say is a firm believer that can't no woman make a man be a husband until he's ready to be a husband. So what was so special about her?
At the time, like I said, it was more or less like I was. It's funny because when you have a lot of women, you basically are lonely because you got to make sure that you keep your stories together. You got to make sure you have your lies together. You got to make sure whatever you tell one, you got to make sure that all blends in and everything else. By that time, like I said, I was tired of messing with so many different women and trying to keep my stories together, so on and so forth. Where I had took a break. She just so happened to catch me in that break where, and like she said, we were friends well before that. And how it all kicked in, it just more or less like our friendship just prospered from there. We clicked.
What kicked you
We
all out?
understood it.
Adrian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go ahead, Kate.
I was saying, what kicked you all out? Because it sounds so fairy tale, so great, and
Wait a minute.
I mean, I'm loving it. But then, what happened?
My daughter's in the background making a lot of noise, and I had to mute it for a second. I'm sorry.
Well, what happened is a series of losses. I lost a lot of people close to me. And like I lost my mom, my father, my sister, my best friend, her grandmother. It was like I was losing people left and right. And essentially I was kind of losing my mind. And then when she lost the folk that she started losing, I didn't know how to support her.
Wait, we jumping a little ahead. We jumping a little ahead because what's key is the main thing that hi Miss Anna, thank you, baby, for coming and joining us. The main thing what I was getting ready to say is that all those things that we did immediately, the first person that passed was my grandmother. My grandmother died in 1996 in December. 3 months to the day of my grandmother dying, Wendell's mother died. I think a year or so after his mother died, his best friend died. Then his sister died 3 days before the actual 9/11 event happened. And then his dad died. So the reason why I'm pointing out all those deaths, because this is where he started to change. It was like every time it's like every time we buried somebody, I buried a piece of my husband with them. Every time he lost so many people until I think it was a thing where he was almost afraid of losing me as well. Because every time somebody died, I was like, God damn, every time somebody, like when his mom died, he took me through hell like took me through fucking hell. And
Great
at this
mama's boy.
and at this time, you know, like I'm really in love with him. I have my oldest son and I have Devin, my middle boy. He was a baby, but at the time it's like because he had lost his mother, he was just putting me through so much. Hey, Charmaine, I he was
Excuse
just
me, my
putting me through
auntie
so much,
Adrian.
and I didn't understand what it you like. I didn't understand what it was to lose a parent, and I was like really in love with him at that time. And what was happening was he like one time I never forget. He came home and told me one day he didn't love me no more. He didn't want to be with me, and I was like, that like crushed me. But I hung in there, and this is where it gets to how we ended up splitting up because,
Hold on,
huh?
Auntie Adrian.
Yeah.
Let me ask Mr. Wendell. Let me ask Mr. Wendell something. When you go ahead, Kate.
Juicy had a question.
When you
Yeah.
went through hell,
We can't hear you.
Juicy, you're sounding robotic. Go out and come back in. Go ahead, Legacy.
Okay, what I was gonna ask you, Ms. Wendell, when you made the statement to Auntie Adrian that you didn't love her and you didn't want to be with her no more, was that statement was a statement to try to
Nubian,
push her
what's
away?
wrong with your phone?
Yeah, to a degree.
Huh?
It was more or less like I
What's
just
wrong
got
with your
Hold
so
phone?
on, hold on,
tired of
hold on. Go ahead, Miss. I'm trying to wait the juice to get through before I can go ahead and finish my statement.
Okay.
But what I was asking is, was that your way of feeling like everybody that you loved was dying, that it would save her if you would stop loving her and get her away from you, that you would be preserving her life because it felt like everybody that you loved and cared about was dying around
Yeah. Yeah, it was a mechanism.
Wow, I never knew that. I never knew that's how he felt. I never knew that.
I
you.
got
And because as Adrian, we don't, as men, we don't outwardly express our feelings, that
or
we would
feel.
rather push something away from us. Yeah, we would rather push something away from us without telling you that this is why I got to remove you, because we know that we're hurting you by telling you that. But at the same time, I'm thinking that, or he's thinking that he's saving your life by removing you from his life.
Now I can understand that now, but remember at that time I hadn't lost anybody other than my grandmother, so I didn't know what it was like to lose a parent. And at this time, it was just his mom that had
Correct.
passed when he was telling me this. And then when his sister passed, let me see, because his mom passed in '97, and his sister passed in what was that 2000?
11.
No, 01.
01. When was 9/11?
Whatever year 2000 the 9/11 incident happened
It
is when
was
his sister passed. It was 01. So his mom passed in 97. I was pregnant with Devin, and then his sister died, and then his best friend died like that next year, like the following January. Like his best friend he had been friends with since a little boy, he passed.
Yeah.
And his friend Kevin. And then that was like a major blow. And then it was like, then right behind that, then his sister died. And then like 3-4 years after his sister died, his father had died. Hey, Charlene. It was just like it was so hard because he was losing so many people. And as he was losing all of these people, it was just like more and more and more. It's just like
Left and right.
it was just like, and I was just losing bits and pieces of him. But in the process, we still stay together years after this, like years after this. And what I always tell people and everything that I always say, and I know I've told this, like I've talked more in detail to sis than I have anybody on the panel about like my relationship with my husband. But when I tell you that I had a good husband, he was a good husband. I hear a lot of women sometimes that when they have children and like their spouses or their boyfriends or whatever, like are not very supportive and stuff. I don't understand that, because when I tell you this man didn't let nobody fuck with me, He didn't let nobody fuck with me. He went to every doctor's appointment, every sonogram. He was at everything. At the birth of all my children, he was the first one to hold the babies, follow them down to the nursery. Like he was like legit there. And like if we were in situations through like we bought a house the day after we settled on our house, he's like, okay, you don't have to work no more. I'll work. You stay home and take care of the kids. But me being me, I ain't gonna never sit home and not make no money. At the time, it wasn't like the internet wasn't big like it is now. The only thing we had was like I started selling stuff in my house, and then I started selling stuff on eBay, and that shit blew up. Like we had some really good, successful businesses. And if I said to him, Wendell, I need you to bring home an extra $1,000 this month, he brought home an extra $2,000. So it's like I didn't have any problems at all at that point. So to everybody looking on the outside, from the outside looking in, everything looked great. And by society standards, it was great. But then where the problem came in, it was in 2003. I had gastric bypass surgery. And that's when our world just like went upside down. Because back then they did not educate you like they do now about gastric bypass surgery. At that time, they may have had like a little group that you went to see a psychiatrist or a therapist one time. She signed off on your paperwork, say, yeah, she's eligible for the surgery. I lost a whole lot of weight, yeah. But then what happened was I traded one addiction for another and I started drinking. Now, I was always a drinker. Me and him were sociable drinkers. We had like a liquor store, a man that owned a liquor store that used to literally call us when new vodkas and liquors and shit would come out for us to try. And so now here I am, then went from being a sociable drinker to now I'm like, he used to always make sure I had my Hennessy and shit like that. And then I'm starting to realize in 2 or 3 days, that gallon of Hennessy is gone. And he buying me another one. And so I literally traded one addiction for another. I didn't realize how much food was a crutch for me until I couldn't eat it. And that's where all of our problems started in our marriage. Because when I started drinking and drinking bad, shit went left. I mean, like it went left. It was just like arguing, fussing, physical. It was bad. And the reason the thing that did it for me to make me want to leave him is because he wasn't supportive. He didn't support me.
I didn't know how.
And I mean, now I know he didn't know how, but I'm saying I didn't understand. See, my answer to that was I didn't understand what it was like to lose all the people you lost. And even all the hell you put me through, I never left you.
Go ahead, Leg.
Auntie Adrian.
Yeah.
Now, when you say he wasn't supportive, elaborate more to me. What do you mean by he wasn't supportive? Because it seemed like to me he was an enabler, but he was only an enabler because he would bring you what it was that soothed you and kept you okay with yourself.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't an enabler. When he brought those drinks and stuff, I hadn't had the problem yet. The problem didn't start till after that, after I had the surgery. So
right, but that's what I'm basing this off of, because you said after you had the surgery, that's when you realized that food was your enemy and you switched places with food to drinking, and that he would bring you a gallon of Hennessy to the house, and in 2 or 3 days it would be gone, and he would be off to buy you another one.
Right, but he didn't know. No.
Well, can I say this?
So maybe he didn't.
Well, I say this. It was more so where, like she said, whatever she wanted, I would get. I didn't care about it. I didn't know about the problem prior to. So if she wanted whatever, I mean, from 9 West shoes, all the same color, to whatever, if she wanted it, I made sure she had it. Because, like I said, and at the time when it all began, it wasn't about enabling her. It was more so about me basically trying to spoil my wife. And I wanted her to have everything, anything she wanted.
I understand what you're saying, Legacy, but maybe I spoke too fast. At the time that he brought me those drinks and stuff, I wasn't having an issue at that time. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm trying to get you to understand, he wasn't an enabler, because the minute that I told him there was an issue, he wasn't buying me drinks no more.
Matter of fact, I called up the insurance company
Miss,
and we
Miss,
sent her to Phoenix.
what the reason I brought that up to say is because you said he was such a hardworking man, and that if you asked him to bring $1,000 in extra, that he would bring in two.
Right.
Maybe because he was such a hardworking man, and that he didn't have time to pay attention to really notice that his wife was in excess of drinking or consuming, because we talking about a gallon. He ain't bring you a little bottle, but we talking about a gallon. And that
Well, the
because he
reason
was
why
always working.
Well, the reason why I noticed how she was drinking is because I'm the same one. I would drink just as much, if not. You gotta understand. I was like, back then I was about 480 pounds, and so a gallon of drink was like a sip to me. Where everybody else was getting hot. We went on a ski trip one time, and I had like 15 different drinks. Everybody else was sitting up there like they getting plastered. I'm like, I need some more. So it wasn't a problem with me. I wasn't paying attention to the volume because I mean, we ate, we drank, we did what we wanted to do. We were the quintessential couple that everybody wanted to be at the time. And again, like I said, whatever she wanted, I got. I would move a mountain for her because the type of what y'all know now. That's not the lady she used to be. She used to cuss you out at the drop of dime. You say hi the wrong way, you get cussed out.
She still do.
So,
That's her not. That's her not.
but
That's
I
why we
remember an
wanted to hear
incident.
your side.
Yeah, there was an incident at work one time. She was crying. I never would tell her what was going on. So it was more or less like one of the guys we worked with had her crying. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
And I was pregnant. I was pregnant with Jasmine.
So I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I take care of it. So I went and approached the dude. I was gonna do some things, but what had happened was we were at work. And to make a long story short, before I got back down to where she was at, she's sitting there laughing. I'm like, what's the deal? She like, everybody done called and told. I'm like, you can't get away with this stuff at this work at this
Yeah,
jail.
we were working in a jail. And the thing about and he didn't tell me. See, the important thing, I understand the questions you're asking me, Legacy, about maybe he was a hard worker. It was just that Wendell is very nonchalant. He's very, very nonchalant. So when I tell you that he didn't support me, it had absolutely nothing to do with him working, because I worked just as hard as him. He worked hard outside of the house. I worked hard inside of the house, because now by this time when we getting ready to split, we had 3 businesses. So we both worked hard, and then we had children. So it wasn't that. It's just that Wendell was very nonchalant. I would say things to him and it would be no response. I would tell him that I came to him and told him that I needed help. So he got on the phone with the insurance company. They found me a rehab to go to, which was down here in Florida. That was the first time I came to Florida. But all in between then, he never really tried to understand what was going on with me. It was just more or less like, I don't know. You got to know when that. I don't know how to put it in words. It was just more like blasé.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. Back
Hold on,
then,
Adrian. Hold on, Mr. Wendell and Miss Auntie Adrian. Y'all friend Miss Anna Cobb say, LOL, she would not let anyone or anything get away with nothing. Heart of gold, but soul of steel.
who said that?
Miss Anna, that she ain't never lied. Damn.
Well, back then, like I said, it was more or less like, and you cannot put a time frame on basically mentally suffering. And I was going through it, but it wasn't. And it's like to this day, I still kind of go through the loss of my family and different people. But it was I didn't know how to cope with it. And I mean, it took me to be half 100 before I finally figured out that I don't deal with situations like everybody else do. And I will shut down. I won't even tell the person closest to me what's going on. I'll internalize it or whatever and just try to force people away from me so that they don't get, because I mean, like her tongue is sharp, mine is sharper. And it's coming from me where if I tell you I'm gonna hurt you, I had the ability to hurt you.
Yeah, we were a power couple. It's like when we split up, everybody was like, "Oh my
My
God!" But
hold on, Adrian. Tony, hold on, Adrian. Tony, go back to Michael. This is for them. Go back to Michael. For you, Mr. Wendell and Adrian. I like that you all were a great team, established a business together. Michael
yeah,
loves
we
that
were.
you guys was so compatible and that y'all worked so hard together to have. Led by Faith Pinson.
Pinson.
They were a power
Yeah,
couple.
that's my
Yeah, that's
Rhonda.
our friend Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda.
Right.
Just to backtrack a little bit, I can see how
But go
a
ahead now.
person feel not
Hold on.
supported.
T7 got you. T7 got you.
I can understand how a person can feel not supported when the response from the other individual is nonchalant and you expecting something back from them. It'll make you feel some
Exactly.
type of way, because when I was married,
It
I
did.
felt the same way. I understand.
Again, that's like she said. You got to know me in order to understand that that's my character, because I'm used to being in certain situations where most people would panic or what have you. I grew up on Park Heights. When they start shooting, I'm like, okay, and
But
You
when
just
I've been
stroll
in,
and walk away. You strolling and everybody else
yeah,
running.
because of my, let me explain to you where I get it from. My big brother, we were walking across the ranch up. This is a place called the Ranch up in Park Heights. They started shooting. I'm ready to start running. My brother was like, why are you running? Because you can't outrun a bullet. So he like, yo, we might as well start walking. And so it was to a point where we were literally walking through gunfire. Didn't get hit. Didn't hit no bullets or nothing. It was just like, yo, what are we doing? And so from that point, like I said, we were the people that essentially most of the crime that was going on, I ain't gonna get into it, but it was like, yo, whatever.
So,
I
hey,
had
so
no,
running and walking, if it was meant for you, it's gonna get you. Running and walking, it's coming.
like the Marines etiquette goes, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for I'm the meanest motherfucker in the valley. That was the mentality that we had.
Yeah. That's that West Side
see,
Baltimore.
I know y'all want the juice of it. And so I know you got a lot of questions, but this next part I'm getting ready to tell you is where the thousands of questions are going to come in. So even though we had those issues, this is where we got like into a real turning point. So I was no longer working in corrections, and Wendell was working at another facility. The other facility that he was working at, he met this girl that he used to work with. And the girl that he was working with, apparently they were talking and she was saying some things that he liked. So he came home and told me that it was a girl on the job that he was talking to, that it was his friend, and he liked the way she made him feel. Now, Wendell and I, but let me just say, and he liked the way she made him feel. But let me just explain something to y'all about the
wasn't
relationship.
sexual.
Hold on. But let me explain to y'all something about our relationship. Neither one of us were the jealous type. And because we just had such a bond and our relationship was so good until like this young lady Rhonda, led by Faith Pinson, she was there. I never forget one time she needed a ride somewhere, and I told her to call my husband to take her to go, and she was like, Miss Willoughby, I don't want to call nobody's husband. You all right with that? And I said, yeah, I'm all right with it. And she could tell you she didn't want to do it because she was like, she felt, I said, listen, I said, I don't have a problem because we were friends. We all worked together. I trusted him. He trusted me. It was no reason for me to have a problem with him interacting with any other woman. I was very secure. He never gave me never gave me a reason to not be secure until he worked at this other institution. And he came home and he told me that this
Adrian,
girl, yeah.
Michael says, "Dream. Even as friends, the chemistry was there, and the fact that they are still friends and respect one enough to come on here and share is powerful to me and straight. Michael enjoys that
It
y'all
is.
guys
Thank you,
really
Michael. I
can
appreciate that.
communicate still to this day.
But let me tell
Go
you
ahead,
why
Auntie.
it's such why like like I put this on Facebook because by Wendell and I going to school together and working together, we literally have about 370 some mutual friends. So everybody knows us. So this is big because like when him and I split up, a lot of people were affected because everybody wanted a relationship like the Willoughbys. They could not believe that we had broke up. So for them to see us here now, because there was a bad part, for us to even be living in the same house together right now is like unheard of because I left him October the 7th of 2007. We didn't get divorced, I think, until either, I think it was 2015 or 16. I can't remember when we got divorced, but him and I were not on good terms. Like, bitch, fuck you. I can't wait till you die so I can collect the insurance money. Bitch, die already. Why you ain't dead? Like, this is the kind of terms we were on. It was bad, bad. He talked shit about me to my kids. It was terrible. It was terrible. So for me and him to be sitting here right now and even living in the same house is like unheard of, but it's a bigger picture. So before I explain to y'all why we're at now, what I need y'all to understand is what broke us apart. Like I said, it was Legacy. You got to stop asking all these fucking questions before I can get the story out. We only got another hour, and you keep asking questions before I get the real meat and juice out.
Hey, we're gonna
this
add that
night,
we're in the talk and hold all questions to the end. Hold all questions to the end.
Not on this night, Auntie Adrian, we set aside some time for this. So
okay.
Don't worry about the time.
Okay, that's why I was trying to rush. Okay, so answer all your questions because I know normally we on a time constraint, but it's like some serious deep shit that's about to come out that I know you, Legacy.
But I gotta ask Mr.
You're gonna have questions. Go ahead.
I gotta ask my guy. In the midst, I know about battling. Led by Faith Penson. Yes, I remember when you called me to the house one night. I guess that person is talking nothing but the grace of God covered y'all in the midst of all that. That's Miss Anna Cobb. Charmaine, I knew you would get Legacy. Miss Charmaine, I'm used to that. I'm used to that one. But I know Auntie Adrian is gonna get into it, but I just wanted to ask you, because I've been in situations where I've separated from a woman that I was with for like 16 years, and we had 3 biological kids together. But in the midst of, because I heard Auntie Adrian say that you talked down on to the children about her. I want you to tell me or give me more intel on why did you feel like that was the route that you needed to take, or why did you feel like whatever you and Auntie Adrian was going through, that whether it was the lie or the truth that you needed to
share with the kids,
share that or bestow that upon the kids?
Because I didn't have guidance. I had no guidance, and then finally, when everybody, my sister, I had quite a few people that would tell me like, "Yo, your kids don't need to hear what's going on between y'all too." My sister was like, my parents, I grew up in a household. I did not know my parents argued until I was an old man and out the house. They would get in the car, go dipset and cuss each other out, come back home like nothing ever happened. I was like, wow. So I was, when I was going through it, when we were going through everything, it was more or less like I was extremely hurt. Even though she didn't realize that the shots she was taking, we were taking shots at each other. She would take shots at me, I would take shots. And we both share the same mentality. I ain't gonna start a fight, but damn if I ain't gonna finish it. And I would shoot some serious shots.
Miss Charmaine said, hurt people. I think that's one of the best true statements that a person can say, because that's coming from sincerity of hurt people do hurt people.
Yeah, no doubt. And
especially both of y'all being hurt, it wasn't nothing but pain at that moment.
Yeah, and I had no idea. It's more or less like no man want to know that another man can make your woman laugh. That's my laugh that you taking from me.
See, we ain't got to that yet because Legacy and them keep asking questions, and we ain't got to that yet.
I was more so hurt, like I said, it was just different things that was going on. So you carrying a 22, I got a 44. You get a 44, I'm gonna go get a shotgun. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I never stopped to think to say, you know what, my kids shouldn't be involved in this petty stuff. Because I said some mean shit. I ain't gonna lie about it. I know one night we was talking, I said, I don't give a fuck if you were on fire and I had to piss like a racehorse in a glue factory for the first time. I would be peeing in the other direction.
As long as you have been together and love each other for as long as you love each other and cared about each other for as long as you cared about, you know exactly what to do and what buttons to push.
Yes, you know how to hurt the person. What they say, you can hurt the ones closest to you. Mm-hmm. And he was my best fucking friend. I lost my friend twice because I lost my best friend to death and I lost her through the different things that we were going through. And like she said, I didn't know how to support her. I didn't know the different things. I didn't have the psychologist or anybody in my corner to tell me, look, the pain that you're feeling, because when I lost my mother, that was a mental pain that became physical. It dropped me in the middle of my floor when I heard that. The different types of issues that I was going through. I'm a 480-pound man, bench pressing 400, almost 500 pounds. I'm on a tactical unit where if you say something wrong, I'm gonna take you out. And then for me to be hurting in my heart, I didn't know how to deal with that. It wasn't a physical thing that I could deal with, and I never put my hands on her like that because at the time it was like couldn't stop me. I was the quintessential juggernaut. I was that one where, yeah, okay, let's do this. So, like I said, I didn't want to put my hands on her because that was my queen. It's like, yo, you the mother of my children. I don't want to hurt you the way that I could. So that was the way that I did it.
Yeah, but see, he started a lot of that shit.
I'm innocent.
Let me tell you what happened though, and I keep trying to get to this main part so you can ask the questions and he can give you the answers that you're looking for. When he started talking to this girl that he worked with, it became more than a friendship. And it became more to a friendship. It was like this one particular day because he had told me he was going to stop talking to the girl. And then it turned around where he said, he wasn't. That was his friend, and he wasn't going to stop talking to her. I said, okay, all right. So I had a guy that I used to go with prior to me and him going together. He was in prison at the time. So with him being in prison, before that, let me look at Legacy. That damn Legacy is a mess. So before that, what had happened was it was a situation where I had looked at the phone records and he was talking to this girl at work on the phone more than he did me. It was something like 300 and some calls in a month's time. I'm like, you talking to her more than you talking to me. So let's call this bitch up so we can find out what's going on. So I called the girl up. He's sitting there and he trying to talk. And I'm like, because by this time, the Adrian then kicked in. I'm like, listen, shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing. Let me talk to her. She's telling me, no, it wasn't like that. He's just a friend. I look at him like a brother. I said, you look at him like a brother. That's not what he's saying to me. Now, he say to this day that nothing sexual ever happened to them, but it was just between them. But it's just the fact that he was in a position where something could have happened is what was the problem for me. And this is the one thing that I always say that never made sense. So after I talked to the girl on the phone this particular night, the next day when they go to work, because him and the girl work together, and my best friend had already told me that he used to be around on this girl's post. And that's when everything started. So after I talked to the girl on the phone, the next day when they go in roll call, the girl has a nervous breakdown, a legit nervous breakdown in the women's locker room. Now, if y'all are just platonic friends, he's not a supervisor. He's not a woman. The supervisors tell him to go in the bathroom and get the girl and calm her down. Now, if you're not in a relationship where everybody at the job knew that something was intimate between the two of them, so much so that they in roll call, she's in the women's bathroom screaming and hollering, crying and carrying on, having a nervous breakdown, and they send him in there to go and calm her down. Now, anybody in their right mind, now I ain't boo-boo the motherfucking fool, but I know that if I'm a supervisor of a facility and it's a female in the bathroom screaming and crying, y'all just friends, ain't nothing between y'all. I'm going to go in there, or I'm going to send one of the other female supervisors in there. Why would they send you into the bathroom to go and calm her down? Because everybody knew they had something going on. Put your finger down, Legacy. Put your fucking finger down, because ain't no justifying that shit, no way, no shape, no form. Ain't no justifying that. And that was a problem for me, because that was something that they would have done when him and I used to work in the prison together. If I was in the bathroom screaming and crying, they'd be like, Willoughby, go in the bathroom and get your wife. But here's this girl that's supposed to be just his platonic friend. They at work together. She in the bathroom crying. They send him in there to go calm her down. Make it make sense, Legacy. Go in on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna venture back a little bit.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna venture back to the great platonic friendship that you shared with him before y'all got into a relationship. He slept in the bed with you while you were sick and did not touch you. He was a perfect gentleman. By him having such a platonic close friendship with her. And as everyone knew about that, because nobody came to you and told you that they were having sex, because they did not know that.
Hold on, let me.
Nobody came to you and
hold on, let me stop you.
Hold on.
Because you wrong. I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you, because this is what happened, Legacy. He went to her house. He said they were looking at a porn. We had an adult toy party business. We used to sell adult videos. We sold those videos to people as fucking is. He took the videos to her house. She wanted to see what videos she liked. So now you got him and her in there. He tells me he starts to get hard. He tells me she says she starts to get wet, but she didn't want to have anything to happen, so he better leave because her daughter was on the way home. And you want me to believe that was a platonic relationship?
I want to just bullshit. Adrian, you hold on. I'm just going back, because until you just told that part, hold on. I agree. You can have a friend without being
absolutely,
sexy.
Absolutely, you can.
Hold on. But the problem was, now I have to talk about this. This is why when you become a close friend to that magnitude, whether it's even the friendship that y'all had at that magnitude drew you guys to become compatible.
It ain't the same.
That's why you hold on. You don't want to hear it. But the same great person that he was that drew you to him was the same person that he was when he was at work. I can't say that the gentleman did anything wrong, because what you told me is what
you wrong, Legacy, because they was married. They was married.
You won't even let me finish, Auntie Adrian.
Go ahead. Finish. Because you talking bullshit, but go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just talking.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
You all whenever
I'm listening.
I was just on him when he was talking bad to the kids about you.
I understand.
He knew he was wrong. So I'm not saying that the way you felt was not true. It could have been cheating. It could not have been. But the reason it got to that point is because we as people feel like there's enough room for sharing your significant other with another human being that can be sexually aroused and attracted to your significant other. There's no reason for a man or a woman to be that, and sex is the least of it. Intimacy is time spent sharing thought and being there for a person. That is deeper than a man putting his penis inside of a woman.
An
And when
emotional
you
shared
allow
verse.
another person to share that emotional support, that emotional time, that is the first sign that there could be a problem. You don't have to be, and I'm talking from my perspective, because like I say, it's a dick in a glass, it's a vagina in a safe box, and it didn't from what he said it didn't break, and from what she told you they never had sex, but mentally and emotionally they had already had sex. You don't
This
have
is
to
what
have
I'm
sex
saying.
physically to fuck a person's mind.
I know, and that's why I
And
told
when
you
That
that's where
wasn't
it
a
became a
friendship.
problem.
Wendell
Huh?
even said that. Wendell even said that when he heard how it felt that someone else made her laugh, that was his laugh. So
Exactly.
Right.
you
I
know,
Exactly.
understand that. But see, and because I can't get to the whole how that part happened, is because I didn't agree with him having this friend. When he told me, I never had a problem with him being friends with any woman. But when you come to me and tell me that you got another woman making you feel a kind of way and you liking it, and you're very married with 3 children, I got a problem with that. I have a whole problem with that. I never had a problem because I wasn't insecure. But then when I started seeing that he was spending hours down at a post on her post with her, and I'm telling him that he needed to cut this shit off, he says to me that was his friend and he wasn't going to stop talking to her. So when he did that,
Because he had to became intimate mentally with her.
exactly. And that was a problem for me. And like I said, all the years that he had had friends with females, he used to talk to women on the phone. I tell him, go downstairs because I'm up here in the room, sleep or whatever, go ahead. I never had a problem with it. But it wasn't until he crossed over that line and he came and told me that he had this friend and he liked the way that she made him feel that it became a problem for him. So, like I was going to, I had a friend too that was in prison, and it was somebody I used to go with years before, but he was doing 20 some years in prison. So what happened was I was friends with his mother. I told his mother the next time that he called for her to give him my phone number so we could talk. So since he had a friend, then I'm gonna get a friend. And then that's when it all became a problem. Because see, now you can't
Adrian,
do what I did.
your friend, Adrian, your friend girl says cheating can take place long before a physical relationship. The sex only consummates the relationship.
Absolutely. In my room, Jasmine is the charger. Uh-huh. Absolutely. That's what this because like the mental attachment, because for me, I'm a mentally emotional person. Like if you got my mind, you got everything. What are they barking for? They hear her doing, yeah, they like guard dogs, that blueberry man. She they hear her
They doing
clinking
their
around in
job,
there.
Auntie.
Yeah, so anyway, that's pretty much what started it right there. So then when I started talking to my friend, then he had a problem with it. But wait a minute, this man is in jail. I can't do them. So I did used to go see him. I would talk to him on the phone.
What the fuck?
I did what he was working with. What do you mean? What the fuck?
He talked to his friend on the
He
phone.
talking to his friend on the phone. He going
No,
to
he
his
ain't.
friend's house.
He the man is in jail. You are going to visit a man who is in jail. You
It
I
doesn't
already
did,
matter
talking to
because
and
her,
he
it
had
was
so you went to
access
okay
this
to
for
his
him to
special ed
friend.
go,
call.
It don't
and
matter
it was
because Wendell had access to his friend
He was
all the
going to take.
time.
He was going to take videos. He was going to
no,
take. That ain't his fault that that lady went in
that was
goddamn jail.
wait a minute, legacy. That was only one time that he had been to her house. Other times, other than that, one time I was in rehab. He had been to her house. See, this going to her house and stuff was taking place long before I knew about it. Oh, he's saying it was only twice. What I'm saying to you is who had, yes, I'm not saying I was right. I'm not saying I was right. But I felt hurt and I felt offended that you have a woman that you have every opportunity to go to third base with. You already got an emotional attachment with her. You work with her. You're talking to her. You done been to her house. You have the opportunity to physically be involved with her. I didn't have the opportunity to be physically involved with my friend. I didn't have that opportunity. Yes, I could go see him, but it was a petition in between us. I couldn't get physical with him in any kind of way. A hug at the beginning of the visit, a hug at the end of the visit. He had more
He ain't
place
got
and
no
time and
goddamn business hugging.
opportunity.
He ain't got no goddamn business hugging. Period.
And my husband didn't have no goddamn business
I was
going
gonna
over there
say
watching
we
no
never
dirty
gonna
videos
yeah.
with no woman either.
None at all. I agree with you.
So
None at
hey,
all.
but
None at
I
all.
would have
Yeah,
never done
the two
two
wrongs
wrongs don't
definitely
make
didn't
a
make it
right.
right.
It
But
definitely didn't make it right. And
So
I would
Auntie,
have never did
let me
that.
ask you a question. Let me ask you a
yeah,
question. I'm gonna let you go. Auntie, I
Uh-huh.
promise I'm gonna ask this question. Now,
Go ahead.
in the beginning, you trust your husband to have female friends, right?
Yes.
Now, the one that got a little too close to him, um, emotionally and mentally, was a threat because, like he said, no man should make you laugh the way he make you laugh because that means that person, especially if he ain't no goddamn comic, he ain't got no business having that type of attention or attachment to my woman's laughter box like I do. Now, when you decided that you was gonna go talk and rekindle, you went to the point. Now he did his because he was at a job supporting his family, and he ended up getting a friend that way. You went out vindictive
Absolutely.
to re to
1000%.
not so. Okay, so then that's a difference because now you want him to feel how you're
What
feeling
I felt. Absolutely.
of
Absolutely. I don't deny that.
right. So
I
then
don't
that
deny that at all.
okay,
That was 100% because
okay.
I
Go ahead,
even
mama.
said it. Like my whole thing was, okay, so since you got a friend, like I didn't have anybody on the outside or anybody that I could think of that I could do that with. So the only person was this guy who like, cause me and his mom was friends. And every time he called her, he used to ask about me. But for years, I would never talk to him. But since my husband and finally got a friend at the jail that he's working with, and that shit hurt me. The fact that he's telling me, first of all, that she's making him feel a certain way and he's liking it. And then, second of all, telling me that he's not going to stop talking to her. I'm like, okay, then, all right. You dishing it out, but can you take it? And he couldn't. He
no,
couldn't.
I couldn't take it because, like she said,
I can't either.
yeah, I couldn't take it because, like she said, now I did the investigation. I used to investigate in corrections, so I knew how to get into every last thing. I found her burner phones. I found her PO box. I even had her access. I had all her information. She just didn't know it. I know one time I went to the post office box where she had a post office box so he could communicate with her that way.
Just all in black. On 9/11, I'm at the post office, and then this motherfucker come around the corner dressed all in black.
I let her go. I let her go to the post office. I already got the mail out of there. I'd already got her mail, and it was like,
no, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't get my mail out of there because I got my mail and I got Lori's mail.
Right,
You were trying to see.
Here's the part you didn't know. News break. The part you didn't know is I did get your mail. I got your mail from whatever he sent.
From out the house?
No, I got your mail from out of the post office box. Put the rest of that shit back because they saw my name, Willoughby. Okay, yeah. I said, my husband, so on and so forth, this how about, and they gave it to me. Now, they broke law, but I mean, they gave me them. They gave
I should
me everything.
call up there and get all them bitches fired.
Somebody needs to go to jail.
Them hoes need to go to jail for that shit. You didn't gave this motherfucker my mail. I should call up that bitch right now. And that was about 15 years ago.
You should own the post office.
I'm gonna call to find out who the fuck was working back in 2007 on 9/11 in this post office that they gave this motherfucker my mail.
So I also had and I'm exposing my hand, but she used to. I had it was a corrections taught me how to basically get into somebody's program before screenshots and tap logs was available to everybody else. I had that, so I knew all the passwords, all the everything. So it was like you was an open book. I could erase your email. I could erase. Matter of fact, I done a couple things. And I ain't gonna admit that right now, but I could get into it. So to make a long story short, I couldn't deal with the amount of stuff that I did uncover. You know, from a man's perspective, it's more or less like you got this dude sitting up there talking about how he want to do this, that, and the other to you. I'm the only one that can identify that pussy in the lineup. Not nobody else.
Legacy is legacy.
I my feelings was hurt because of what I uncovered. And like I said, I found out information that I really didn't want to know.
He had no business looking.
It's like so. And I found out information about a lot of her girlfriends too. And I'm like, God damn, okay, I'm gonna just back off. So, like I said.
But see, I had did some snooping too, because that's how I knew how much he had been talking to the girl at different times, all in the middle of the night while I'm up there in the bed sleep. He downstairs in the basement just chilling, just talking and shit. So I had did some snooping too. But really, by the time it had got to this point, I didn't care. Because I was on my way out. I didn't care at this point because too much had happened. I had been arrested a couple times because he would start shit. And see, I was drinking. And he would start shit with me. And then when he starts shit with me, call the fucking police. The police get there. He's standing there looking innocent. And because I'm drunk, and I'm high strung anyway by nature, and you add some alcohol to that, abusive alcohol, and the police come there and they're like, Miss Willoughby, did you like what the fuck do y'all want? I ain't call you, and this how I'm talking to him. I didn't call you motherfuckers. And then one time I had a knife because let me tell you what he did. He had me in the bedroom on the bed and he pulled me off of the bed. And when he pulled me off the bed, somehow or another, I said, when I get up off of this bed, I'm going to go get me a knife and I'm going to cut you too short to shit. So I don't even remember how I got out of the room. But when I got out of the room, he locked himself in the room. So I went and got the knife and I just started stabbing at the door. So somehow or another, my son came in the house. He told my neighbor came in, and my son came in there. And then mind you, my kids are all in, like, we're laughing, but this was serious because now in the process, all of this is going on. All this drinking, all this arguing, all this physical altercations, me getting arrested, all of this stuff is happening in front of my 3 kids. So this is tearing them the fuck up. You know what I mean? So like when I sit back now and I think about all the things that we did that caused them so much pain and so much anguish, the best thing for us to do was to be able to be where we are right now, because them kids didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve that. They just absolutely didn't deserve that. So when they were in therapy and they talked about it and all that kind of stuff, and you know, they blamed themselves. And that's the sad part, because like Devin, one time I had left and I had went into rehab and it was around Devin's birthday and he was just crying and he was like, you know, why do these things always happen on my birthday? Did I do something wrong? Is it my fault? So they go through blaming themselves. And listen, I'm not innocent by far. And I've always said that. One thing about me, y'all know, I tells my truth. I speaks my truth, because I have learned in life that you don't, if you speak on your own truth, a motherfucker can't hold your truth over your head. There's nothing about me that anybody can say that can make me feel bad, because I speak my own truth. And I did a lot of damage that I'm not happy about. My son was 12 years old driving a car because his mother was too fucking drunk to get home. So my son's driving a car at 12 years old. I'm falling down on the ground, pissy drunk, and it's like, mommy, I never forget, we were in a shelter, because like a lot of things transpired when I finally did leave him. because it was just too much, like the fighting, the arguing, everything. And I just told him, by the time I told him I was leaving him, I already had a whole house. I had already signed the lease on my house and everything. And then shit got really bad after that because it was like a tussle. And then it's like we in court fighting over the kids and him trying to take the kids away from me. And then my drinking just got worse. And so now I done left the house that we had built because we had a house built. And so I done left the house that we built to go rent a house, end up losing the house. And then now I go start staying with my cousin, staying with my mother. Then I stay with my cousin. Then I stay with another friend. Then I stay with another cousin. The kids are with him. And it was just so much turmoil, back and forth, back and forth. I ended up going into a shelter. Now we in the shelter, and we went in a really nice shelter. The shelter was like, I had my own room with my kids and everything, like, and I was cooking even back then. One of my jobs was to come in there and cook breakfast and, stuff like that. And then I got put out of the shelter because I just couldn't stop drinking. And I never forget one time I was coming out the shelter, going to the store, and I was so drunk. And I fell from the top of the hill and rolled all the way down. And all I could see is my son standing there crying, snot running out of his nose. Mommy, please get up. Please get up. And then one of the other kids running over to the facility to try to get the people to come and help me out. Those kids didn't deserve that shit. They didn't deserve it. And so finally, when I made it, in the whole time, like, he's so angry with me. He's calling me, he's arguing with me, he's fussing with me, and it's just like, and in my mind, this is where I'm like, doesn't he see that I have a problem? Like, why is he not trying to help me? And I understand now it's because he didn't know what to do. He just didn't know what to do. But at that time, it was all in my mind, Legacy, to go when you were asking, like, what did I mean by he didn't support me? Remember when I said, when he lost all those people, he treated me bad, but I stayed. I hung in there with them. I didn't and I felt like when the tables turned and now I'm having a problem, I expected him to fight with me, find out what was wrong with me. I couldn't help myself. So I wanted him to give me the same kind of help that I gave him, but he wasn't capable of doing it because he didn't understand it.
And my thing was, I'm thinking that you ever watch a person do something, you like, I know you know better. You got to straighten up. And you expect that person to straighten themselves out. And I did not know that it just did not register in her mind at the time. I had no idea what was going on because I didn't have, the only problem I had was in high school smoking weed. That was like back in high school, but I quit and it was like no problem. So I'm figuring that everybody with an addiction, if you're ready to quit, you quit. It's just that easy. I did not know there was other factors involved in all that. And I didn't know how to support her, like she said.
The kids were, Michael said the kids were exposed to adult behavior that was unacceptable. However, Auntie, forgive yourself. Do hell with what others think. Look at how I look at you now. You look good, looking good right where you're at. The past is over. Oh, absolutely, Michael. Absolutely, baby. Let me tell you something. I have a great relationship with my kids. When I tell you my relationship with my kids, Charmaine says sometimes you just don't know what you don't know, and that's true.
Yeah.
And that's where Wendell was. But then when I left him, he was so angry with me leaving him. So angry with leaving him.
Oh yeah.
He was absolutely angry that I left him. And then this is where the years of turmoil went. I mean, like years. And so when I finally went to him and said, listen, I never forget it. When I tell you, when you ever hear I know you know what I'm talking about, Legacy. When they say a person has really hit their bottom, when they're strung out on something, because I was on alcohol so bad. When I tell you I had hit my rock bottom, I'm a woman that owned 4 businesses. We had 4 or 5 cars. We had hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. We had a house built from the ground up. And I had resorted to living in a hotel on Route 40 in Baltimore, one of the hotels where the pimps take the prostitutes and shit at. That's what I resorted to, living out of a hotel. And the last day I can remember, he came to that hotel to bring the kids, because here's the thing, a bitch always had money. There was never broke. always had money. So at the time, I had a lot of money on me. I probably had like $4,000 or $5,000. He would get the kids to call me and say they need money, and I can remember coming to the door, and I must have looked really bad to him because I could see the pain, even though he was angry with me. When he looked at me, I could see the pain in his eyes, as if to say, like, Lord, what happened to my wife? Because I looked bad. And so I finally met, and I sat in that hotel for probably like 7 days. And I had kept calling the rehab and telling them that I was coming, I was coming, I was coming. And then finally, one morning, I woke up and I looked in the mirror and I didn't recognize myself. I didn't recognize myself. My eyes were sunk in. My face was bloated and swollen. I'm looking around in the hotel room. I got like 6, 7 bottles of liquor. I got all this food and shit that I ordered. And I looked at and I was driving a cab at the time. And what set me over the edge was I looked at my ledger, and it was like a fare on there that I had got paid $250 for. And I'm in Baltimore, and it said that I had took a trip to DC, and it scared the shit out of me. So I called one of the girls that used to be in the shelter with me, and I asked her, I said, Shay, I said, when did I go to DC? She was like, Ma, because she used to call me Ma. She said, Ma, you don't remember us going to DC yesterday? I was like, no. She said, Ma. I said, well, who was driving? She was like, you were. I was like, I was driving? I completely drove to a whole nother state, from Baltimore City to DC, a whole nother state, without in a total blackout. Did not remember that I had been there. And that was it for me. That was the turning point. So what I did was I ended up calling the rehab, and I told them, and I never forget it, the guy that I spoke to on the phone, his name was Dave. He was the guy that I had spoke to the very first time that I went to rehab. He got me in. And I called him and I told him, I said, Dave, I said, I got to get in there. I've got to get in there right now. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. He said, Adrian, you got to wait till 8 o'clock when admissions gets in and I can get your plane ticket and everything. I said, Dave, I said, I'm telling you, if you don't get me in treatment, I'll be dead tomorrow. I knew it. I was one drink away from being dead. He said, Adrian, I promise at 8 o'clock, I'm going to call you. 8 o'clock hit. He hadn't called me. By 8:01, I called him. And I told him, I said, Dave, like, where's my plane ticket? He said, Adrian, just give me 30 minutes. So he called me back, asked me how fast could I get to the airport. I said, as soon as I take a shower. And this is what brought me here to Florida. I took a shower. He said, when you get to the airport, call me. I took a shower. I called the cab. The cab took me to Walmart. I had one black suitcase. I had 2 pair of pants, 3 sweatshirts, and I bought some personal items. And that everything I owned in my life, I had left it behind in Baltimore. And I got on that plane. Man, that was a hard time. I couldn't even believe what I looked like. I just couldn't believe what I looked like. I couldn't believe that I had resorted to that. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to me? Like, how did it get so bad that I looked like that? And then when I got to, I remember calling him when I got to the airport, and I said, Wendell, I said, where the kids at? And he was just so mean and nasty. He was like, Jasmine and Devin are in the car now. We on the way to pick up Bubby, my oldest son. And I was like, well, I'm just calling. Let me talk to the kids. I'm on my way to Florida. I'm going into rehab. And I can't remember what he said, but he put Jasmine on the phone. He put Devin on the phone. I talked to them and I said, Mommy's going into rehab to get help. And I told him I loved them, and that was it. And I never got to talk to my oldest son, Darius. So I ended up coming to Florida. And when I came to Florida and went into rehab, I didn't talk for 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to talk. They couldn't get me. It's like I just shut down.
Adrian, not to cut you off, love. Hold on a second. Michael says, see, that is my motto, the mirror image, nobody's fault. Mistakes or shortcomings are there, but the in front of the mirror, and I like that you own your stuff, and some people cannot do that. Awful.
Thank you, Michael. That's true. I do. I own up to mine. I own up to it because I don't know anything else. Thank God you don't look like what you've been through. Amen. You ain't never lied, Miss Anna. You ain't never lied. I don't look like what I've been through. But I'm thankful for everything that I have been through because it shaped me into the woman I am today. I'm not perfect by far, and I've had a lot of good times and I've had some damn bad times being here in Florida. But for the most part, I'm at a place in my life that I didn't ever think that I would be at. Like I'm peaceful, I'm happy. I feel like now I have my family back together, and it's like,
Auntie, hold
uh-huh.
on. Auntie, hold on for a minute. We've been hearing you for a minute. I want to hear what Mr. Wendell has to say. Mr.
Sure.
Wendell, at that point in time, when you was your wife was going through those trying times and y'all was separated, um, I want to know what were your thoughts, how you was feeling when your wife, the love of your life, your best friend, was away from you and you could see the demise and you didn't even know how to help her from going down that path.
At that point, it was more or less like I had fallen into a darker place as well. And so I had a couple people that stayed in my corner. They was more or less like, you got to focus on the kids. And so we were actually staying with a friend of mine in Bel Air, and they kind of took the brunt of, helping me with the kids. But it took me like a few weeks, perhaps, or whatever, to finally say, you know what, I got to say, focus on the kids. And that's where I started spending more time with the kids. I had a whole lot of people in my ear that was telling me, things about what I shouldn't do in front of
That was crazy.
what I shouldn't do in front of the kids and how I should basically let things go, so on and so forth. And so I was still angry because like she said, we were best friends. And for me to see her come from this place of I had like a high reverence for her where it's like I never forget when we went to David's Bridal to for her to try on her wedding gown. I was enamored. I was done. I had jaw drop syndrome. I was like, wow, you want to marry me? As a matter of fact, David's Bridal put that wedding dress from our pictures and everything else. They put that up on their website. It was beautiful. But to see her to go down from that to in that hotel, just everything. I didn't know how to handle it. And I mean, I can understand that now. I understand what I was going through at the time. I understand a little bit better. I'm still not at 100%. I'm still not focused like where I should be. But it took me, like I said, I'm 52 and I'm just realizing that I don't handle things as well as I thought I did because you can't take the street mentality or the jail mentality where somebody give you a problem, fuck them up, keep it moving. You can't do that at home. And while she was going through everything, I'm sorry, go ahead, Anthony.
I have a question, two-part questions. First part, so do both of you believe in the saying that love conquers all?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
And secondly, with Adrian being in Florida, at this point you were still up north.
Yeah.
So how did it come about that now you're in Florida?
Well, that's a whole nother episode.
It basically boiled down to me telling him, like, because even though my kids are grown now and the kids understand everything, they still miss their dad.
Right.
And as much as they hate to admit it, like they are so happy he's here. And then we got a grandson now, and it's just like I'm like, your family is here. You
That's
know what
the
I mean?
thing.
His
That
family's here.
prior to, and this is something, my mom was in the hospital, and when we told her Devin was going to be born, she cried like a baby. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't understand what that all meant until I had my own grandchild. And then, like, when we lost the other baby, it's like prior to, and it's I just got finished saying this to somebody before, life and everything hits different with experience because I had no idea. As a matter of fact, like just using Frankie Beverly and Maze as an example. I never knew that their song, the club song, is a breakup song. The what is it? Before I Let Go. I never knew that was a breakup song. I never understood what it meant when Prince was saying, I would die for you, even if you wanted me to. It just, everything hits different. You hear things differently from a different experience level. And I came, like, I wanted to get everything straight last year. I tried to do that last year, but it was things that was holding me back, and I kept on giving excuses and excuses. And then finally it was like, you know what? All the excuses aside, because like how essentially in a long-term relationship, women, matter of fact, people, my opinion is that women break up with you months before they actually make the move to say, you know what, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize that they done moved on months before.
Look at legacy.
Yeah. They done moved on months before that you got it.
That's
So
true.
I started putting things in place like literally January of this year. January 22, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and let my manager know what's going on. Let me start going here, break down some of these connects, start doing some other stuff, put some money in place. I had money set up, and I was able to be good in the place where I knew I was headed. Because I came down here specifically because I thought that it would make it would complete my family. And to me, I love my children. I mean, I made it clear to everybody before and when they were born, I will kill you if you do something to my children that they can't recover from. I meant that. And that is what happened between Adrian and I, because it was more or less like I included her in that realm because I saw where she was endangering them and everything else. And I told her before, I said, life is worse than death. Where if you were driving drunk and you killed a child, an innocent child, and you died right then and there, everything is over. It's good. I said, but if you were to kill a child while you were driving drunk and you survived, there is no law on the book that will punish your mind worse than you could ever do if you have any conscience to you. So I wish life on you.
Yeah.
And it was more or less like I was so hurt by the things that I saw, but I couldn't fix. I'm a fixer. I will build shit in a heartbeat.
That's what we do.
Yeah,
That's
I'm looking at it like, yeah, that's a Ferrari. I could build one. You know.
I got a TVD fixing right over. I'm just joking.
I would fix things, and it's like, and I couldn't fix my family.
But Anthony, to answer your question about how he got here, I told him when he came down for his birthday in May, he was getting ready to leave. I told him, I said, okay, it's June. I said, I'm giving you 3 months. By September, you need to be giving me a call and telling me where you want me send that fucking moving truck for you to come down here. It's no more thinking about it. Your family is down here. I don't want to hear no shit. You got until September to call me and say where I need to send the moving truck to bring your ass down here, period. And that's how the conversation went. Sort of like how I told him, you need a girlfriend? Okay, you got a girlfriend now. September, you need to have your ass down here. But he ended up being here. What was it, in July?
No,
June.
August 1st.
Was it? Okay, August 1st.
Mr. Wendell, when is your birthday? When is your birthday?
May 31st.
Mine's May 30th.
My man.
No, it ain't. Oh Lord. Lord have mercy.
So let me ask this. So now y'all are dating again?
No. I didn't mean to say it like that, but no.
We're not dating like that now. Hell no.
No.
It's not like that. Right now, it's just like Wendell needs it. First of all, this is my thought like this. I'm very happy that he is here. I couldn't be happier that he's here. Because number one, everybody knows them children of mine mean everything to me. They mean everything to both of us, but like for 10 years they were here with me and he wasn't here. So I had to do it all myself. I was the mother, the father, the confidant, the banker, the counselor, the doctor, I was everything. So now him being here, it's not too late. You know what I mean? You can't do anything about yesterday. We can only live for tomorrow and the days ahead. And I didn't want him to spend another day being away from these wonderful children we have, because in spite of all they have been through, I got some good kids. I got some good
Excellent
kids.
kid.
They've actually walked away, a little simple sometimes, but that's kids. But, so yeah, Legacy.
Mr.
Where you
Wendell, let me
pointing
ask
at?
you a question.
Yeah.
Mr. Wendell, let me ask you a question. Now, for the 10 years that you were in Baltimore, I guess that's where you were at that time, away from
Yeah.
the children, they were here with Auntie Adrian. Um, do you feel that there was some resentment or some spitefulness from the children of how they did you feel any change of love and affection from them to where you may have thought that they were only siding with their mother?
No, it was more or less like, okay, now there was an interim where they were with me, where I had custody of them and I was sending them to school and everything else. But I was, from their perspective, it was a job to me. And it's more or less like I taught my kids how to shop, how to cook, how to clean. I told them I wanted them to be productive members of society. I wanted them to know how to basically take care of a house and do what you had to do in order to do what you have to do. I said, if you ever get involved in a relationship, never get involved with somebody that you need, and don't get involved with somebody that needs you, because at any given point in time, one of you could fall and you have to be able to support that person if you care about it.
Well, now, I don't think he's asking you that. I think he's asking you, do you feel like the kids had some resentment? Go ahead,
Hold on.
Legacy.
Yeah, right. Hold on, Auntie Adrian and Mr. Wendell. Savage, hold on once. You gonna read the comment, Savage, and then you can
I
go.
can. Charmaine George Jackson said, Adrian and Wendell, I'm so happy for you all. You've been through so much, but God will restore to you all that the enemy stole.
That's true. Legacy is asking you basically, do
Yeah.
you feel like the kids have any resentment towards you for you not being there? Did you ever do you tell them about your
I don't,
relationship with the kids?
like I said, with my relationship with the kids, it was more so where, again, I thought that, once I got into a situation, I felt like I had to teach them, because my kids know how to cook. They know how to cook, because I ain't get fat by looking at food. And my thing is, they had to know how to cook meals. By Devin being diabetic, I ain't do the microwave thing. I could have bought 10, 15 different microwaves over, but I read somewhere when I studied the thing about diabetes that microwaves don't do no good for them. So I said, my thing is, well, we're in a house. If one of us is sick, we're all sick. If one of us can't eat, none of us can eat. So I tried to show them how
Mr.
to
Wendell,
cook.
I think you, Mr. Wendell, I think you missing what I'm asking you
You're
again.
not.
What I'm
You're
asking
missing
you
the
is,
point.
Oh no, yeah,
even
I'm
though,
sorry.
you taught them that when they were there with you, but there was a time where I just heard Auntie Adrian say that she had to be the mother and the father because you
Right,
physically was not there. So
right,
there had to be a time where those children, when they were growing up in the absence of you not being there, that there had to be some type of resentment. It may not have been to a point to where, oh, I hate my daddy to death, but from what y'all went through as a family, the things that the children saw, and now they're in the custody of Auntie Adrian, and now they're looking at things from a different perspective of understanding that the things that you may have told them was a lie about their mother. And now they're sitting back looking at you like, why would you tell me that about my mama? And that wasn't true.
They did that.
yeah. We've
So
all
are you
had that
telling me that
conversation.
they, right?
My
So
my
I want
my
you to
kids
tell
and
me,
I. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Larry.
no, I'm finished. That's what I was just trying to get you to elaborate more on that.
Well, we've all had that conversation, and it's more so where we've had that conversation. And like my oldest, Darius, he came to me one day, he was like, Dad, I finally understand why you would tell us no about everything. Now, even at the distance, they still had that respect for me where they every now and again I would get them dirty text messages where like, yeah, if I was close, I know damn well you wouldn't say that. But it was like they never the resentment is, put it this way, as far as I can tell, is well hidden. They haven't shown me, or they haven't basically been like, you ain't my fault. You've been gone all this time, so on and so forth. Because we did maintain relationships, be it over the phone or what have you. I still maintain that relationship. And throughout it all, towards or as I grew a little bit better in my person, I would always tell them, at the end of the day, y'all are the products of an adult relationship that did not work. But your mother loved you and I love you. It's no question about our love for y'all. So at the end of the day, yeah, we had our issues and we did things when I was going. I told my kids recently, I said, I do not handle things the way that I thought I did because I can't have that street mentality in corporate world or in family life. It don't work. I'm not a violent man at home with my kids, my wife, so on and so well, my kids, I have a different story, but I'm not a violent man when it comes to my relationship with my wife. So it was different in the aspect of how do I handle this? How do I deal with what I'm seeing? And I know better. I know we are the ones that set the bar for everybody to look around. And with my kids, like I said, I'm loving my kids. I'm just so proud of them. Just the fact that they're doing what they're doing. They have shown me better than they can tell me.
Let me cut you off for a minute, Wendell. I'm gonna answer you more because I'm a little more direct than he is, Legacy, because I know exactly what you're asking. Was there resentment towards him because he wasn't there? Absolutely, it was. But I didn't escape that either because there was a period when they first got here. First of all, my guilt for them, because they were with him almost 3 years that I was here till I got myself together. And when they did come here with me, they were very angry. They were very angry. Why did you leave us? They understood why I left, but they had heard so much negative about me from him until now they're coming at me and they're challenging me based off of the things that they were told from him. So it took us years to mend that relationship. He's not being as direct with you guys as I am because I'm a straight shooter and I'm going to tell you like it is. Was it resentment? Absolutely. Were they upset with him? Absolutely. Very angry with him because now they see mommy and they remembered who I was and they remember how I did things. And now it's the thing, why would dad tell us the things he said about you? Why did he do this? And I always told him because he was hurt. And hurt people, just like Charmaine said. So they did have that resentment. Now, let me just say this, being 100% transparent. Darius and Devin are more forgiving than Jasmine. Anya know what I'm talking about because she know Jasmine. Jasmine is different. It's going to take her a minute. She's very happy that he's here, but it's more so like, yeah, Anthony.
I was going to ask the question. I was going to let you finish, but my question was, now that he's here, and I had asked the question earlier, so are y'all now dating? Like,
no, we're not.
Y'all say no. So, would there be an issue if he was dating someone or you was dating someone?
Not for me, it wouldn't be.
No.
Not for me. We're just friends. That's it.
To be honest with you, it's more so where I am still learning. I'm still learning. It's like I'm literally in a whole process where the forgiveness. I actually took accountability for the role that I played and what happened to our demise. It wasn't just a thing where, oh, she drinking and that's it, it's fucked up. No, it's like a lot of, and I think, matter of fact, Legacy, I think you'll probably agree with me on this. It's more so where a lot of women don't take accountability for the things that they do or the role they play in a relationship and its demise. With me, it's more so where I wasn't taking accountability for my part, the roles that I played and what I was going through. Because again, like I said, I had no idea the type of the vicious things that I was saying. And I mean, like I said, I work in a mechanic shop, and I think it's like out of 15 mechanics, I made about at least 10 of them cry because I cussed them out or said whatever I had to say. And it was more so like, I dare you try to approach me, because I was more so of like, I don't care how you feel. If you come at me wrong, I'm gonna say what's on
A
my
bully.
mind. And
A bully.
yeah, that's how I was. I mean, I'm
You
to a
you was
degree,
more so a
but
bully.
I'm a bully, but I'm a bully that you bring it to me and then I'm gonna give it to you worse than what you expect. Cause like there have been several times. Matter of fact, I told this one kid, I was like, yo, I tell the kind of jokes that make you want to fight me, but then when you fight me, I'm gonna fuck you up. Because it's more so where my uncle Riley Hawkins, he trained our family. So I learned a little bit of stuff from him where it was like, yeah, I wish. And I told the guy one day, I said, look, I don't know how old you are, but there was a movie called Billy Jack. Dude told the man, he said, I'm gonna take my right foot, put it on your left cheek, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I had the ability. I could stop a motherfucker. I could put people down.
Well, no, that don't have shit to
So you
do
was
with
arrogant
dating.
with it too.
Huh?
So you was arrogant with it too.
Very arrogant. But that to Anthony's point
I
about
am.
him dating, he don't need to date nobody
I ain't trying to
because
date nobody because
he don't need to, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Wendell has never been by himself. Wendell went straight from me, dating two other women, and then this last woman he was with for 13 years. He's never had an opportunity to be by himself, so he's never really had the chance to heal from us being together because he jumped out of one long-term relationship right into another one. He was with the same woman for 13 years up until he moved here. So he don't need to be in a relationship with nobody because he don't even know who he is. Whereas I had years to figure out who I was.
Yeah,
So
Wendell
even
So Wendell,
he,
why did you
got
move there?
themselves.
the precipice was my kids, my grandkids. When Tommy was born, that's when I was like, you know what? I don't want to be, because my daughter-in-law, she put a video on, and this was well before anything was going on, but she had put a video on for his 1 year birthday. And when I saw it, it was like it literally brought me to tears. And I'm like, this is not me. I am at one point in time when my kids when everything was rosy between Adrian and I was that quintessential dad that came home from work and played ball, and I knew all of their little friends, their parents knew who I was, so on and so forth. I knew their favorite colors, their TV shows. I was in their business. And I didn't want my grandson to not I didn't want him to I didn't want to watch him grow up on video. I couldn't
So
do it.
so you're just staying with Auntie until you can get yourself situated in your own place, or are you
Yeah, because I
there
don't want to.
to show your grandson how a man should love a woman by loving his grandmother and being there and support and showing the dynamic of a black family?
Yeah, I'm.
What you there for?
Oh yeah, like you said, I'm here to set myself up or do whatever. So I don't want to feel as if I don't want her to feel as if she has to support me with everything. I don't. Right here, right now, I still have my money. I'm still good. Car no paid, phone, all that other stuff. I'm not asking anybody because I made that years ago clear to everybody. I'm not calling nobody to borrow a damn thing. I'm not calling nobody to ask for anything.
You,
However,
you got
yes.
no GoFundMe account?
Do I have a GoFundMe account? No. No, I'm not even. I swear to
I
God,
need
I'm not.
one.
I'm not internet
I need
savvy.
one.
I'm not internet savvy where it's like I don't have.
you don't need no damn GoFundMe account.
Yeah, I do. I'm
Anthony.
gonna
No,
put
he
a
don't.
GoFundMe
Let me
account.
just say this. Even though he feels that way, and everybody knows how I am, I'm the type of person because to me, Wendell's family. Even though we not together, he's family. And I'm not gonna let him fail. I'm just not. Even though I know he doesn't need me for anything, but if he did need me for something, I'm gonna help him because he's family at the end of the day. I don't hate him. I love him. I'm not in love with him because we're not on that kind of level, but I do love him. I'm gonna always love him because number one, he's the father of my children. He was my husband, and we had a whole lot of good years together. So right, Rhonda, family forever. He's gonna always be family. So like I told him, I set the the platform for anybody that wants to come from another state to set themselves up. I came here and I did it by myself. And I told him it's empire because he had some fear about coming here, obviously. And I told him, listen, you don't have anything to fear because number one, and I just told him this yesterday. I said, I'm gonna argue and I'm gonna fuss. If shit in here ain't right, I'm gonna say something about it. But I don't want you to feel like if I just speak my mind and be me, that my next words is gonna be you gotta go. I would never do that to him. I wouldn't do that to him. I wouldn't put him out. Now I'm gonna talk my shit. I'm gonna tell him if he getting on my motherfucking nerve, I'm gonna be me. But at the same time, I am also still a genuine person. I can never forget the man that he was because he wouldn't let me fail when he was on. Listen, Ron, come on in. You know what I'm saying? Like I told him, I said, this should be easy for you to get on your feet. You got a job. He works for the post office. He's just waiting for his shit to get transferred. You got money in the bank. You got a car. I said, and more than anything, you got a place to stay. I said, and you got 3 grown children. Yeah, Legacy. Go ahead, Legacy.
I'm gonna send you my link
I got
to
I got it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna send you my link to the Walmart delivery. So while you're waiting, you can do the delivery and we can get incentives. They got like a 200 bonus sign on, but you can make a couple hundred a day just delivering for Walmart.
I know that's right.
Okay.
And it's all based on your leisure. Like you pick what you want to do when you want to do it. Yeah. Stack it up.
That's right.
Thank you.
I gotta
Hold on, Legacy. Miss Anna said
Miss Anna Cobb say
my husband became family up until the day he died. We were friends, period.
That's right. Yep, we're gonna be what Legacy, what you gotta say? Huh? He come with some
where you
bullshit.
sleeping at?
He got his own room.
You stupid.
Now, Mr. Wendell.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you ain't seen this woman. You ain't seen all this woman around you like that in years. She walking around here in them flowery grandmama dresses.
No,
And she probably ain't got a nail in the drawers, and that thing is moving. That thing is moving around you.
The same way y'all see her on here, she be dressed up the same way. It's like she come out that room fully dressed. So yeah, I ain't getting no peek. I seen it before. I could have identified it years ago in the lineup, but it's been years ago.
Line the kiddies up
That's it right there.
With some bullshit. I knew as soon as he started, I said he can bring home with some bullshit. I knew it. Wouldn't be Legacy if he didn't come with some bullshit. That's a good one, yeah. But it all works out for the good.
Let me ask you this, Legacy. Legacy, let me ask you this.
Okay.
You said you got 3 kids, right? And so if the kids is home, what you doing in front of the kids?
That's right, Miss Anna. Miss Anna said, "Ain't no grandma clothes for my baby girl." Laugh out loud. That's right, Miss Anna. Ain't no grandma clothes.
See, Miss Anna ain't making it no better because if you ain't got on them grandma curtain robes and stuff, that means something is hugging, and that definitely means something could be growing.
Shut up, Legacy.
What you say? You being enticing?
Yeah.
Not at all. I put my pajamas on coming there. The other day I did come out the room. I ain't had my shirt on, but I'll do that in front of anybody. I don't care.
And again, like I said, it's not like we in the house by ourselves. This ain't like no where, oh yeah, we in the house by ourselves trotting. No, it's not even that kind of time.
When they was with Legacy, he had slept in my bed. When he was getting his room, when him and Jasmine was switching rooms, he came and got in my bed and went to sleep, and I was on the other side. But again, it's just not like that. You know what I mean? And just the main point of it all, that anybody that's
I
out there that's
understand.
looking, it is, it's a light at the end of the tunnel. And for me and him to be able to be sitting here, even having this conversation with y'all, it's huge. Like the kids even told me, it's wild seeing you. It's really weird seeing you and dad together and y'all talking and being friendly.
I
Do you I
will
have a
say this.
question?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Do you think that if you guys didn't have children, you'll still have the same relationship?
That's what part of our family is. Our whole family is our family because, yeah, we were friends, but we wouldn't have come through the things that we came through the way that we did without
I
part of
don't think
them.
so.
It's like, yeah, that is our family, is our family.
Yeah, I don't think so, sis. I don't think so. I don't think that we would be.
So basically, the children are the glue that
Yes.
holds you guys.
Yeah.
And that's good because sometimes
Shut
with
up, Rhonda.
I can't see
Leave my face, sister. Say I forgot when they're gonna hit it. Hey, sis, and what I always tell you, when they're coming back for his family, baby, he coming back for that wife. Mike
Thank you,
said,
Michael.
Let me tell you,
Mike said, perfect powerful story. Love everyone and to all have a good night. Have to watch my last part of my tennis match. We love you, Mike.
Love you too, Michael. Thank you for coming.
We love you, Mike.
Have a good night, Michael.
Yeah, Wendell.
I will say this. I will say this.
When you see Mr. Wendell with his grandchild, do you still see the fatherly love that he bestowed upon his children when he's embracing his grandchild? That those are the things that you loved about him.
Yeah.
Do you still see that in him with the grandchild?
Yeah. Because my
Miss
grandbaby
Charmaine says it really. Hold on, man, Auntie. Your homegirl say it really is wild of you sitting together laughing and chatting, mind blown.
It is wild.
I'm like Miss Charmaine. I love that.
Yeah, and the reason why, and like for the ones that are on here speaking, like Charmaine and Led by Faith, these are people that like knew us, and they knew about how good we were when we were together, and they also knew how bad it was when we weren't together. So them seeing us here, they know how big this is.
What I did want to say was that
Miss Anna Cobb said, go ahead, Legacy.
No, go. You got it, Mama. My headphones down. You got it.
Anna said, my kids to this day talk about how myself and their daddy would be family until the end. His woman would be totally upset, but in the end, we were family. That's true.
That's right.
But yeah, we was at your family.
I do drive a tow truck, so yeah, I know how to repossess the vehicle.
I think everybody see when they're tonight. Pop a plane.
But I will say this: the thing about it is, like I said, I have a lot of different people that I talk to, and we're not the only people that have been through troubled times, divorce, and everything else, where an ex can be friends with an ex. Because, like my friend, I have a friend in Atlanta, Jackie. She, until her husband died, they were best friends. They broke up, they had the divorce and everything else, but it was more or less like she is one of the people that in another relationship where it's like, you can be friends with an ex, believe it or not, platonic friends, not just somebody that in the court and Big Red and Ron and all y'all ain't no hat, ain't whatever. But anyway, it's more so where it's like, and I'm still learning. Right now, no, I don't think I'm mentally ready for a relationship or what I can do to somebody. Because, it's like, if you got a vagina, I don't trust you. But I'm just saying.
That's because he got his own personal issues. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't want to bring my shit to somebody else's door.
I remember, I think we talked on one of these shows. I had said that I had to wait. I didn't start dating again because I wasn't together and I couldn't ask somebody to bring something to the table that I didn't possess. And that's pretty much the same for him. He can't get in a relationship with anybody until he can learn to figure out who Wendell is. Because again, he's never had the opportunity to be by himself since him and I broke up, where I have. So it's like, me and him are on two different levels, like as far as relationship wise, everything. I'm not better than him. I don't mean that in any sense. But what I'm just saying is that I'm not. I'm not better than you. And I'm very humble by the situation that I'm in. I've worked hard to get where I'm at. So I'm not better than you. It's just that we're on different levels, whereas as far as like our walk in life and like our maturity and like different things, you know what I mean? I've had a lot of time to heal. I've had a lot of time to be by myself, to know what it is that I want. And with uninterrupted, without being in a relationship with somebody. He's never had that. He literally went straight from being with me to somebody else up until he moved here. So he ain't ready for nobody.
Go ahead, Dave.
I'm gonna break that damn finger. I'm gonna break that finger.
Now, I'm gonna ask a serious question to both of you guys. Auntie Adrian, I believe, we've had these discussions. You are a major fixture on this podcast, and we've been through and seen a lot of relationships that come through here. Tonight, you guys are a major inspiration to a lot of individuals, including me. I've done a little healing tonight just by watching you guys. But let's say this is, we're in the latter years of our lives, and we don't really have time for games and things of that nature. If Mr. Wendell is proving himself, not to you per se, but proving who he's evolved into in the next 2 or 3 years, and y'all are still on the same wavelength, would he be considered to be a candidate for reignitement for a relationship with you?
It just depends on where I am. What I would have to say, and the long and the short of the answer is this: when we were together, he I guess yes, it's really no way around saying that, because ideally he was the perfect husband. He absolutely was. So 2-3 years from now, would he be considered, depending on where he's gotten to growth wise? You know what I mean? If he's gotten back to that point where we could be that power couple again, I could never say never, because I don't think anything happens by chance. I think that everything happens for a reason, and he's not here. We're not sitting here talking for no reason at all. And who knows, maybe deep down inside of me, I want him to figure out who he is so that we can rekindle something. You know what I mean? Like, y'all know me, I'm 100% transparent.
Damn it.
I don't hide from anything.
That's why I love you, Auntie Adrian.
I tell it like
damn
it is. So maybe that is why I want him to get himself together and figure it out so that we can be who we used to be. You never know. That might be. And listen, I always tell y'all to
I think so. Miss Charmaine. Miss Charmaine say
typically black men don't like therapy.
Go ahead, Savage.
Typically, black men don't like therapy, but Wendell, you may benefit from some therapy, which will allow you to heal from some unresolved things.
Absolutely.
Because I am one to say that I do need therapy, and there's a lot of stuff that I used to tell the kids all the time. We all need couch time.
See, whereas we have had therapy and he hasn't, so that definitely can help him. This damn dog is down here licking my leg. Move,
I've actually had therapy several times, and it's more or less like it's not enough covered time. Yeah, hours.
That's them pajamas. That's them pajamas that you're wearing.
Oh my God! Tony, put that Tony back up there. Tony, put that Tony back up there. Lead by faith picture say it wasn't an accident. This is happening this way.
Oh yeah, everything happens for a reason. I definitely agree
I
with
knew
that.
somebody was gonna come up with the question. I didn't know if it was gonna be Legacy or Tony, but I knew one of y'all was gonna ask that question. I knew it. I knew it. I prepared myself for this. I prepared myself for this.
Mr. Wendell. Mr. Wendell.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tony.
The scene in Medea movie. Medea said, and I'm saying that to you, Auntie Adrian, go get your man.
I gotta say that I appreciate you guys having us on here because this was helpful for me. You know, it was helpful to be able to openly discuss what we've been through and where we're at now with people who are totally on the outside, and to have people who knew us to see here and witnesses. This was really helpful for me because I'm a person that likes to get shit out. You know, I want to get it off of my chest because I can't hold it. It be having me all anxious and shit. And I can't.
Keep you sick.
Yes, my secrets keep me sick. So I thank y'all for having us on here. I think this was a really good show. I appreciate it.
Don't try to run. Don't try
I'm
to
not
run because
going
I got a
nowhere.
question for Mr. Wendell. And don't you run.
Don't you run. We know you wanted to start some shit. Legacy. Look at that finger.
No. Oh, no, I'm not. Listen, Mr. Wendell, I got a question for you.
I'm listening.
Hold on.
I'm with you. I'm with you, led by faith. I'm with you.
Want to see everything in the open.
It ain't gonna be no few years.
You know what?
It ain't gonna be no few years.
And they rooting for that meat stick tonight, boy. Oh,
Listen,
Happy
you know it's
anniversary.
Friday night. It's Friday night. The arcades close late.
You ain't got nothing to do.
Shit.
And he ain't got nowhere to go. He ain't got nowhere to go. He'll be up. He'll be up. Listen, but Mr. Wendell, let me ask you this. Led by Faith said, baby, I know them. This was an opening. Let me say this to you. Mr. Wendell, I want you to be honest with me. You maybe didn't come down with expectations of being back with this great woman that you married for so many years. But the same question to you, if you got the healing that you needed, and I believe you already know in your heart that this has always been the woman for you, that's why you're here. Ms. Cobb say, dear, you know how I am, Wendell. You are also in my prayers and heart. Looking forward to more praise reports from both.
Thank you, Miss Anna.
To me, there's no greater place than a man being with whom his heart desire and a woman whom her heart desires. When you move this way, being honest, would you say that you are hoping that you can one day show Adrian that you've finally evolved into the man that she always knew you was from the day that you took care of her when she was sick? Or would you be looking forward to stepping out on faith and being back in a relationship with Auntie Adrian? I'm talking about in the future. I'm not talking about now till you get the way you feel like you're ready to be that. Would that be a great accomplishment for you to put your family back together as one?
Did you just put your arm around sis? Did I just see that as Legacy was talking?
Yes, you did. Yes,
I saw that, Wendell.
I'm saying I'm been around here a couple times.
He's been around me the whole time.
It moved right when Legacy was talking.
Y'all can't see it. Y'all can't see, but we naked. But anyway. Nah, I'm saying, I told a friend of mine a few days ago, the best statement I ever made in my life was that I do. That was years ago.
Rhonda.
I'm gonna bust Rhonda upside her head. Years ago, when I said I do to her, that was the best statement I ever made in my life. Right now, because of what I'm dealing with and everything else, I don't even know myself. I don't know what makes me happy. It's like I don't know what right here, right now, I wouldn't want to bring my baggage to somebody, be it Adrian or the next one. I wouldn't want to bring my baggage to anybody because I'm just fucked up in the head, to put it blunt. So I'm still dealing with certain things, and it's years down the line. I'm saying I know that I'll be the best version of myself within a few months because I am like I said before, I'm a fixer. And I know how to. Crazy. We not really naked, Miss Anna. I'm joking. See my shirt. Our child is right here, so ain't no naked.
Oh boy, you know what kind of hell we would have.
But you know,
Legacy.
when it comes to
Legacy, one thing you got to understand about Mr. Wendell, he is not a direct. He's not going to answer you direct.
No,
I know what you asked.
You asked me.
He's saying that. Did you basically?
Did I come down with expectations? No, I did not have any expectations.
Okay.
When I left Maryland, I left Maryland.
But that ain't what I asked you. That ain't what I asked you. That ain't what I asked you. Did you have any expectations? I said off the beginning that I know you probably had no expectations because you're just moving here for the family and to be closer to your kids and also to Miss Adrian because y'all still, got love for each other that way. But what I asked you was, in the next few years, and you become and you become the best version, and when I say the best version of you from hearing Miss Adrian, Auntie Adrian, was you being her best friend. When you was her best friend, you was the best version of you. That's what made her love you. So if you got to the point of being there again, the man that she trusted, the man that she knew that had her back in any way, and I'm talking about the next year or so, and you both are at the same point at the same time, and Auntie Adrian tell you gonna be her boyfriend again, are you gonna be her boyfriend? Because you seem to don't never ask to be her boyfriend. She seemed to tell
I'll be the one telling everything. He asking you know what he asking.
I don't even believe it won't even take a year.
Hold on, y'all.
Jasmine said, like Rasputia, you my boyfriend.
Get the ass up and hold my ass. That boy.
I don't even believe it will take.
Hold on. Go ahead,
Juicy.
Go ahead. That's why I was trying to get to you, Juicy.
I don't believe it's even going to take a full year or so for that. For one, they both were speaking of unintentional, but at the same time, unconditional. And if at the time when you all split up, it was because you didn't have what it took to help each other get to where you all needed to be, through what you've gone through today, you have those tools to help each other. So you can be the healing element that he needs to see the light, to get where he's supposed to be, which is where he already just said, I do about. And so just listening to his speak and what you speak, you're already there. It's what you all just have to get comfortable within yourselves to accept and put what you had behind you and know that you're moving it forward. Let that be your cornerstone and grow on, because the healing, there's a wound, like he said, a bag. Like, how you gonna get rid of your bags? I want that answer, and no one in the world has let go of a bag. They have.
Oh no, I'm saying I have what I was by that I mean is more or less like I have trust issues and things of that nature where I got to basically get myself together because, like I said before, and it sounds like a joke, but if you have a vagina, I don't trust you. And what I'm saying is that
he don't trust no women because of what he been through.
Right.
So he can't answer you and tell you that if he got to that place or what. See, I know him. This was why we were so good together. We could finish each other's thoughts.
Yin and yang.
So,
and that's what you just did right now.
No,
and he does trust a woman with a vagina because he's staying in your house, where if he didn't trust you, he could be thinking you're gonna kill him. I mean, for
Yeah, I
all
did
that
for
you've
a
been
minute.
through, so you do trust her. So to say you don't trust,
Great
she
point,
ain't
Juicy.
packing, she
Great
ain't
That's true,
point.
great
slanging.
Great
juicy.
point.
Y'all are really
So,
trying hard tonight to make this thing work.
well, I mean, it's time. I'm wanting to
They
say,
still
And
have
Lead
time
by
to
Faith
answer
is
it
still
though.
saying answer with Dale. Answer
Answer
with
what?
Dale.
Answer what?
Leandrew
Before,
say he the same way, but
Answer what question?
The question he asked you that if you got to the place where you
uh,
were, would you consider being back in a relationship with me if you got to the place where you think you need to be the man that I knew
Oh
you
yeah,
were?
yeah. That's no question.
Look at
that didn't
Charlene.
say that part.
damn it, why did
That's
it
why
take
we don't
33
trust
minutes for
her.
you to say that?
Lead by Faith
No,
said he's just
no.
asking
What I
answer.
was saying before was again years ago. The best statement I ever made in my life was that I do. And the thing
Right.
is, it's more so where we've
I
had to
heard
go
you.
through all of the things
I
that we
heard
had to
you.
go through. We
Wendell
had,
is the type of person he's not gonna answer you direct. He just don't. That's the one thing about him that's frustrating for me. So can you imagine? You see how it is, like we're not on bad terms, and it's hard to get a straight answer from him. Yeah, Miss Anna, it's like pulling teeth. So can you imagine me going through what I went through?
Miss
Imagine.
Anna went from
I
pain
just
from
want to add.
PMT.
I
You
want to
see what I'm
add.
saying? But like, can you see how it was frustrating for me? Because like we're in a good place right now and we can't get a direct answer from him. So imagine how it was for me being in the situation I was in, not knowing what was going on with me and needing him and his help. And I couldn't get a straight answer from him. He's very indirect, where I'm straight to it.
I want to.
So
I
it's
want
kind
to
of
add.
hard.
I want to add Auntie Adrian and Mr. Wendell. Once y'all finish being boyfriend and girlfriend again, and decide to walk down the aisle, make sure you invite all the ATL show because we will be there live.
Anthony, you gonna be there? You gonna be the officiate? We gonna call you? Cause see, I know you officiate weddings and things too.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Anthony and Legacy is jacks of all. They do it all.
yes.
You know we got it.
Juicy too. Listen, that goddamn, let me tell you, that goddamn Juicy is a plumber. She's a goddamn, hold on.
That's
You have
true.
to, leave by faith say you have to go through a storm to understand how the sun shining really feels.
That's so true.
Perfect. The Andrew, all I can say to you, sister, is we all do dumb things. He's speaking as men. Lead by faith, I will come to Florida for that one. She coming to the reuniting of the wedding that will be broadcast live on the ATL show. I am in
I'm in
ATL. Come pick me up,
ATL.
please. I want to be
Listen,
there.
Amazing. And my daughter in the
You
background
know,
talking about, hey, Legacy, my daughter in the background talking about, you going to be hollering ATL, hoes.
yeah, yeah. You,
Tony,
Tony, when
when are
are
you
you
going
going
to
to
do
do
the
the
show
show on my artists, on my people?
next Friday?
We getting ready to get up out of here because this has been a wonderful
This
show.
was a really good
Tonight,
show.
we've been, and I mean, this has been a very entertaining and special night for us. We've not done this in a long time, and to be able to share this, Auntie Adrian, Mr. Wendell, this time with you guys, for you guys to bestow upon us y'all darkest but also best intimate things of life that you guys shared so freely with us. This is what makes the ATL show so great, is to be able to have people that can come on and share their truth without feeling any kind of way, and to be able to, stand within it and understand that, it's always sometime a two-way mirror that you have to sometime before you point a finger you have to sometimes reflect on what it was that you brought to the table as well. Ms. Cobb say, thank you for the invitation. I truly enjoy all of it. Ms. Cobbs, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that black bell because we got so much more to come. Auntie Adrian be on here quite a few throughout the months and throughout the year. We definitely want you to continue coming. Walk, what is it, Miss Walk by Faith? All you guys that have been on here tonight, we definitely appreciate you coming out tonight. Please hit the subscribe button and the black bell so you can get all the notifications. We show every Tuesday at 9 p.m. On Tuesday, it's 9 p.m. to 10. We do an hour show. Then on Friday, we do a show to where we just go on until everybody done got what it is out that they want to do. So it's more elaborate and more uncut. So if you really want the best podcast to entertain you, you really want the best podcast that can entertain you, don't miss a Tuesday and a Friday. I promise you we won't let you down. We never disappoint. Everybody's invited to the wedding. I will, dear, if you don't mind, a great grandmother. No, ma'am. I just have to watch my tone sometime, Miss Cobbs. I definitely do. I'm a little raunch.
And she's D'Angelo, start on that tonight, sir. I was being good over here. I was being good.
We thank you too, Miss Charmaine. Don't forget to hit Miss Charmaine, hit that like and subscribe button, the black bell. We definitely appreciate that. Do not go away without hitting that like and subscribe button. We promise you won't let you down. Tuesday and Friday is better than Dallas Dynasty, Falcons Crest, Young and the Restless, General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful. We got all that shit right. Oh, my bad, Miss Cobb. Okay, we appreciate that. We on our road to 10,000, and we want you.
Miss Ella said I can too.
Okay, Miss Cobb. I'm telling you, I can be.
Listen, she's one of my followers, so she's used to a filthy mouth. She is used to it. Because you know,
Adrian, I don't have a pouty mouth, but Adrian, I don't have a pouty mouth. I don't have a pouty mouth.
This was a good show.
I have a good. I have a good.
This was a good show.
You always talking about somebody's box. Always talking about somebody's box.
Lord,
he the best man.
Listen, Auntie Adrian, go ahead and let them know how they can get in contact with you, Auntie Adrian.
Okay, you can get in touch with me on Facebook at Adrian Willoughby. IG is Sweetie Peach 70. TikTok is Adrian Willoughby 3. And I also have a backup page, Deuces I Holla. My YouTube is Real Talk From My Kitchen to Yours. And my email is real talk from my kitchen to yours at gmail.com.
All right, Mr. Adrian, we appreciate you definitely coming out here tonight. You have filled such a void in this puzzle for about a year and a half. And I thank you for being here tonight.
Mr. Wendell,
I gotta meet you. And then
he's been waiting to ask you 21,000 questions.
Oh,
Charmaine said they'll be back together.
Yeah, they'll be back together.
We believe you, Leandra. We believe you.
All right, let's go ahead. We're gonna bring out now my sister from this is the lady who got the juiciest cakes. Duncan Hines, Betty Crocker, Sarah Lee ain't got nothing on these damn cakes. It's the juiciest cake. Miss Juicy, let them know, baby.
Well, you can find me, of course, every Tuesday and Friday on the ATL show. But check out my website, enliventoyou.com, for some herbal tea and holistic wellness. Facebook, Nicole Purse. On Instagram, Miss Beautiful. And on TikTok, Miss Juicy Cakes. And my YouTube channel is Juicy Thoughts. Pass it on.
Juicy Thought?
Thoughts. The way you think. Juicy
Thoughts.
Say it clear. You see where your mind is.
Say it clear. Say it clear. Say it clear.
Juicy
Say it clearly.
THOUGHTS. Thoughts.
She spelled thought. LEGACY. Legacy. Okay.
Wow. Wow.
I
Wow.
meant to say earlier, Legacy, you kept repeating the fact that Mr. Waddell kept saying he was a man whore. And I said, Legacy found somebody with a like mind, because he a man hoe too.
I was.
Oh, no. See, Mr. Waddell is reformed. Legacy not reformed.
Yes.
He's not reformed.
I'm a good boy now.
He's still practicing his whole ways.
That's right.
I'm saying.
Me too. I've been reformed for about like 7 years.
7 hours.
You remember
you've been on him for 7 minutes.
Put it this way.
7 days of creation.
When we used to sell adult toys, I used to let everybody know. When we used to sell adult toys, I used to let everybody know I'm here for tech support.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
I gotta use that one. I gotta use that one.
Oh, Mr. Waddell, don't be giving this hoe in the corner no ideas.
He doesn't need any more. He doesn't need anything added to his resume. He don't need to wear another hat.
Wow.
He is not no sex.
Unless you're giving him some more legs, or he need a little bit of height. Other than that, he don't need nothing else added.
La.
Legacy, get your knees done like white chicks. Got my knees done.
Yes.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
No knee pads. No knee pads.
Well, listen.
You need to join Megan.
We need to bring my, we're gonna go ahead and bring my sister out here. The Savage one, the one that keep us on edge. Go ahead, Savage. Tell them where they can get at you, love.
T Savage, T Savage 1000, Facebook on your Drake Birds, TikTok T_Savage 100, birdsonye@gmail.com.
All right, we're gonna holler out to my sister that I guess she was having technical difficulties driving tonight. Boss lady, Tayama, Savage, let them know.
Tayama Sweetness Harris, Tyson Mama, IG at Tayama01, Facebook at Tayama.Copeland1, JustinTimeAccessories@gmail.com, www.JustinTimeAccessories.com, 954-873-6659. Don't call if it ain't about business.
Lord knows don't.
Please don't.
Yeah,
please.
you know you should be saying
Lord
that.
knows
Don't
don't.
call me. It ain't got no money.
You don't want to get cuffed for fever, honey. Don't call that number.
That part right there.
Please.
Yeah. We're trying to save y'all.
We're gonna bring out the man. Please listen. We're gonna bring out the man that makes it possible for us to have this platform tonight, other than the big man above. We're gonna talk about our big man, our brother, boss man, pain in my ass. And then literally he's my boss at the job now, for real. I'm just so sick of this shit. The man that makes it possible for us to have this platform. Mr. Anthony Brown, AB, let him know.
What up, y'all? Yes, I'm Anthony Brown. You can find me on all social media under Anthony Brown or The Anthony Brown Show. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. Also follow my Facebook page is Anthony the Writer. I'm also on TikTok, and I'm trying to kill it over there. Anthony Brown 561. I'm killing Facebook Reels, and the words I say you must live by, and that's grind until you shine. And for business purposes, give me a call, 561-768-3710.
All right, everybody. Y'all know who I am. Legacy the Great. You know what I'm saying? You can get at me on Facebook at Dream Williams. You can also reach Kamal. Okay. You can reach me at on YouTube at Legacy the Great. My email address is legacyunlocked@mail.com. Business purposes, please call me at 229-630-7615. I help individuals with getting inside of their car if they're locked outside of their car. I can do that. Get you in your house too. I also help individuals, mostly men, who need help with getting 50-50 custody of their children. I definitely know how to go inside the courtroom, get you in a position where you can get this done. I've done it on numerous occasions this year alone. So hit me up if you need any assistance with that. Pull up Kamal. Kamal said, "Thank you for sharing your story. Love is forever. Sometimes it changes the way it looks, but I love your version." Kamal,
Thank
we
you,
appreciate you
Kamal.
for being on here tonight. I didn't even know you was on here other than the first time you talked. This is the first time you ain't brown nose in a long time.
Hey, you
I
want
want to
something
say
else
this
about
before.
Kamal? Now we're not doing that. We're not doing that about Kamal.
I want to.
We like that comment, Kamal.
Oh God.
And thank you, Wendy.
That's his problem right there. That right there, what y'all doing. This is why you
Thank
keep
you,
brown
Kamal.
nosing so damn much.
Legacy is a whole hater out here in these streets. Okay.
I want to just let everybody know in closing. I want to let everybody know in closing who's out there in the ATL world, ATL land. This is definitely one show I want you guys to share. I want you guys to let it know what unconditional forgiving love is. I'm definitely a person that I feel kind of like Mr. Wendell at times of not being able to trust women. But I've also learned tonight that there is a possibility that love does conquer all. ATL hope.
ATL, they're back.
It's my time again.
Anthony, Tioma, T7, Legacy. They're back. They're the best. Let's get it. Season 2.
I'm the best in this shit, that's fact. And there's only one reason that I came back. I'm here to set the fucking record straight. Okay. I'm the best you ever cast, just fell the way. First off, ain't no beef with the spitters in my city. But if it comes to 28, man, this shit get gritty. I'm shitty. Yeah, I shit on rappers. Either dead on the scene, since you wanna be actors. This the message. I'm talking open hills and places. The school little feeling foggy, I'll be patiently waiting. It seems y'all forgot who really runs the throne. Screaming y'all number one, just because I was gone. See, ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the move, going against me. Once when you ready to lose. The game, the street, the zone is took. This the message, hoping you from me rapper. Sure. Yeah. The message. So y'all know. Yeah. The monster is back. And I'm at my spot.
ATL, ho.